Hey, everybody. It's Tuesday. It's From the Barracks, and we're going to have an interesting conversation tonight. um,
What the heck?
Wow.
I have no idea what that happened. Restream is at its finest again. So let's go ahead and do the proper introductions this time. I'm joking for Players Wanted. With me is the myth, the legend, the Z Monster, Third Coast Airsoft. It's not a party until he comes out, Wiener. And then
Wow.
Buck.
The buck.
Man, that was a lot of laughter and a lot of mess ups there, bud. You good? You having a stroke?
No.
He's nervous because Sal's here.
No,
I know,
hold on,
right?
hold on. Wait a minute. I got one for him. It's here somewhere. There it is. There you go, brother. There you go.
Oh, he's starting off.
All right.
Dude, well, Restream has been messing up. Like, Wiener couldn't get in. Z's like, hey, are you going to let me in? I was like, I'm waiting for you guys. And all of a sudden, my computer restarted. I come back, and it's like back and forth. Oh, God. If things haven't been so hectic in the last 2 weeks, I probably would have found a new streaming program. But here we are. Anyways, so I don't know where Sin is. But we're going to talk about some things. Most of the first half until Z has to go is we're going to talk about the challenges and rewards of being an event producer, or as I like to call it, herding cat.
Yeah.
So I want to thank Z for coming on and talking about stuff to do with Third Coast, some of the stuff coming up, and other subjects we're probably going to talk tonight. So thank you everybody for coming on. And so the other thing that is extremely weird is I want to go on like a 15-second rant about FU Facebook. And for some reason, each time I post my leads, it automatically is getting put up there as not allowed. I know the restreams on Facebook are not working. That's what I'm addressing right now. It's really pissing me off. I put the thing up there, and automatically it came down as soon as I did it live. Wiener was on the phone with me when it happened.
Yep. That's correct.
So let's talk a little bit about this. This is actually a topic you brought up to me, Z, because we talked on Wednesday.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to turn the floor over to you in just a second, but as a player first, and then getting into the sport, playing and doing the events, I could only imagine some of the stuff that happens on the event level side and the producer side until I started running events at the prison. And I saw it firsthand.
Yep.
So what is like your number one challenge that you have as an event coordinator?
Okay, so I think you nibbled at it a little bit. Social media. I'll go back when the Earth was cooler and the sun wasn't so bright. We had things called forums, and you joined a Facebook, or not a Facebook. You joined a forum, and like we had one in Texas. You had to search around for these airsoft forums and message boards, and they're still out there. It's like how cute, a forum. Reddit was the day and age before Reddit, and so you really had to jump around and get your word out, but really word of mouth. And then social media hit, Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, and so exposure. That's your challenge. We've been in the business since 2009, and I laugh every event, right before every event, when somebody walks into Sam's Airsoft Junkies store and goes, "I've never heard of you guys," and he gets very emotional about it. And he's like, "What do you mean they haven't heard of them? Heard of Third Coast?" And I'm like, "Hey, dude, I'm okay with it. A lot of the other staff are okay with it, because not everybody's on Facebook. Not everybody's on what are the new guys using TikTok these days?
TikTok,
Discord, yeah. Because the challenges really go back and forth with. One day Facebook is very friendly to you, and then the next day it's guns, and they pull all your stuff down.
Yeah, it's really, really weird. So, hey Buck, I know you had something to do. You can come back. Sin just showed up, so we could do the swap out. So, bye, Buck.
Bye, Buck.
Oh,
And
hey, Sin.
Hey, Sam.
and the man with the mohawk, the king of the high kappas, Virtue from Sinister Customs.
Is that a wait a minute? Is that a Whataburger cup I see?
Um,
Excellent.
We can't hear you, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's talk a little bit about that, the frustration of that, of the nonsense that goes on with it. So I experience this a lot with TikTok in particular. TikTok is like the worst for it because I don't think their algorithms are properly configured for our sport.
Calibrated.
They, I've had my account permanently banned 3 times now. My main account, my secondary account that had 50,000 followers on it has been permanently banned again, that I have not been able to be restored. I had a mass reporting situation happen where I had 60 videos reported in less than 15 seconds. So
Wait, can you guys hear me now?
now,
Yes.
Yeah, you are.
so Sal, I'm not sure if you met Sin before.
Yeah, we've
Yeah,
talked
we've
a few
met.
times.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, just making sure. It's been a while since you've been on the show, Sal.
Yeah.
So, it's always a challenge with navigating the social media platforms to make sure that your content is okay. And I realized what caused the initial the thing today, which was the picture I posted, had nothing to do with the content because the content doesn't mention a single thing about airsoft. It just happened to be the one picture I chose, which is at Bone Strike last year. Gabe from MK Airsoft, one of his guys that he plays with, and myself posing on the burnt out cop car, which is I think the best prop for that property ever because it's just a destroyed cop car. But it was here I'll show. Oops, wrong one. Oh, I don't want video files. All files. There we go. It was this picture right here. Oh, because it's a video. Never mind. Anyways, it's
So, but it goes to show you that there's no real free speech per se. You're at the subject and whim of the hosts. So, social media has been an issue.
there. It is.
I think you got it working.
Yeah.
Nope.
Just
Black screen.
just a picture.
Yeah, black screen.
There you go.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
So that was
it looked like
But they pulled that because of your face, Mark, not because of the guns.
Oh,
Yeah.
so you guys look like a bunch of steely-eyed killers. But yeah, I got guys messaging me like, "Where's the video at? We're watching." I know social media. So communication. I think that's to more refine it is communicate out to players. You got to have a robust social media presence. You got to have a robust internet presence. And when you're not, doing this full time, as none of us are, I'd love to retire from my day job and make airsoft my primary thing, but then I still got dad life and husband life and life. And so me and Wiener talked all the time. We talked at length one night and we were like, "Yeah, dude, the speed of life." I think me and you were talking the same thing, Joker. It's like, yeah, man, to be totally devoted to your hobby and your passion would be great, but you got to pay the bills. And so adulting kind of takes precedence. So I think that's the number one challenge is communication. And it's kind of led to a lot of things, a lot of friction. Just
all right, I can't post
excuse me.
anything. I'm blocked for 3 days.
From where?
Facebook.
So
we call that irony, my friend.
Yeah. Here we go. I went to go share. Here's where this week's post is, and I'm blocked for another 2 days and 17 hours.
Wow.
If you let us know if you don't think this goes against our community standards. Yeah, I'm gonna be typing this up right now.
So, yeah. So I think we were talking about this before. I have a very soft place in my heart for event producers because we all started off as players.
Yep.
The successful event producers all started off as players.
Beat me to it.
You?
You beat me to it.
Sorry. And you learn a lot from other people too. So I remember in 1999, woodball, paintball, scenarios, milsim scenarios with paintball, and boy, it sucked. Looking back on it, and a friend of ours came down from the service academy with an airsoft gun. I think he bought it in Canada, and we were like, "What is this?"
Yeah.
And it just opened doors from there on out. It was more realistic. It meshed well with all our gear. It was cheaper, so we thought. Boy, but 10 plus, 20 plus years later, you're like, this is not cheap. But we looked at it going, okay, maybe we should like start hosting our own events. And 2009, we got seriously started doing Third Coast, only because we saw back in 2005, we went to a John Liu event at Fort Knox, Irene, and we were like, this is Airsoft. Of course, as years progress, you start realizing what you were looking at that you didn't know at the time. And you wanted to bring common rule set, common sense as much as possible. But then the hard crutch is communication, because you get a lot of guys, and Wiener, you've seen it, Virtue, you've seen it, Joker, you've experienced it, where
quite a bit.
Guys have like, I have this great idea, and you're like, yeah, dude, that's like 2013, bro. FPS is cool, but it's not everything. And you don't want to dash their hopes, because then they get all butthurt about it. And you're just like, I'm sorry, man. Try to provide the why, and that goes back to communication.
You don't want to dash their hopes. I, however, am a bitter old bastard and quite enjoy it.
I've been accused of being a bitter old bastard, so I mean, so communication, I think that's the number one rub. Both as an event promoter and community organizer, and a lot of our problems stem from, a lot of the frustration stems from communication. So that's number one.
Yeah, I mean, there's like when we go back to the thing that you're talking about, when it comes down to like people bought like to try to unify and make like essentially universal code for us to do for Airsoft. We use a lot of the same jewel limits and everything else that TCA does. And we've seen some stuff that works well. So it's like, why aren't we going to incorporate that? Why won't we use their vehicle rule sets that are some of the safest in the industry, so we can maintain our insurance and use them and move them to go forward? That's what we saw. And then there's other things that obviously doesn't work for some locations, some people, some play sets, like trying to get, and it's not a pick at Milson West, but Milson West guys are never going to be, they are in the hardcore mode. So my games won't really cater to them. It's like, hey, we're Milson Light. Your games are a lot more stricter into stuff there. And you guys come up with some pretty awesome stuff that works. Other stuff that I think might be a little bit overpowered. Like when you had the playing cards that players could rip up at that one game. I was like, all right. It's not working. It's working, but it's not working.
It's because you can't get in the room. I'm sorry.
I want to say
but no.
1997, 1998, and you guys around old enough to remember this. There was a big thing there. Somebody was trying to get a universal rule set passed out amongst all their promoters. It went nowhere.
Yep.
Because they were all based off the rules that work at their field or their AO, and all the rest of us went, we can't use this. And they refused. And for a while, there was a huge push. And it was like, I want to say it was 97, 98, maybe 99. And a lot of us sat down and were like, maybe this is a good idea. Maybe we should do this. But nobody could agree on anything.
And so I think back then there was American Airsoft Association, A3. And A3 pushed real hard because they had gotten Airsoft on the presidential 100 things to do, like physical activities.
Yeah.
And which is great. It was cool. A3 got Airsoft recognized. But dude,
yeah, they were also the ones trying to push it as a high school sport, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
and every parent association on the planet came out screaming no.
Oh yeah, we forget about Columbine. It was like, hey guys, know your audience, know the sensitivity of the topic, and so it wasn't a great idea. But I tell you right now, insurance, that'll drag you somewhere. Insurance will pull you forward faster than anything else. Go ahead.
That's one of the things I really wanted to touch on, was because there's so few insurance companies doing this now. So many people are like, hey, well, why can't I do this? Why can't you guys do this and that? It's like insurance. And they're like, that's just a BS reason. It's like, it's not really BS. It's legitimate. It's a legitimate reason why um, we as we would like to do cool things, but there's that risk factor involved. And then we're not going to have an event without that risk. Do you want to test your settings there, Wiener? Try to say something.
People always ask me the same question all the time, and I was
Killed-
like, "Yeah,
you killed
there's
it
some
altogether.
stuff that the insurance doesn't really touch on, but that's the danger zone because you never want to be
Yeah.
the first guy to do it that gets everybody else shut down."
Yeah. So I was telling one of the guys after Iron Dagger, because he had a lot of heartburn with our iPro standard. And I said, if I'm willing to pay enough of a insurance premium, I can go without iPro. It all depends on how much I want to pay down the risk, how much risk the insurance company is willing to accept, which means how much more money I got to put forward, which means how much more the player has to pay. If you want to just wear, no gasket, skin conforming, sure, but that cost is going to get relayed to the player. And when the player gets his eye shot out, it ain't going to be, well, I signed a waiver. It's going to be, you didn't make me wear a full seal. You didn't tell me that this was dangerous. Because
You didn't
ignorance.
tell me the coffee was hot.
Yeah, ignorance can be a defense, no matter what. And so, we opt to find a good middle ground and go, hey man, we bought our insurance at this level. This is what the underwriter's willing to accept. Yes, we could get him to, we flew him out. We showed him what the iPro standard was, what we were talking about. And they were happy with how we were doing it because they were going to give us a list and go, hey man, your players can come to the event, but they got to wear the following brands. And I went, oh God, that's like mandating bio BBs. Yeah, that's not, we mandate bio BBs, but we all know there's players out there not running them. Now you're telling me that in order to have insurance, players can only wear these 5 brands and these 5 models. Like, hey, come on out. Let me show you what's out there. Let's educate you. And they were like, oh, okay, got it. So a little bit of explanation and education. And so players like, hey man, that's great. I don't care. I want to run with no gasket. I just won't come to your events. I respect that. Hey man, that's awesome. I won't go to a field that mandates full face coverage. Like I got to wear a paintball. I got to wear a paintball mask to play airsoft. Nah, that's me. And I've had teeth shot out, so I know what dental work costs.
So that was a funny thing. When we had Scorched Earth just back last month. One of the things I was saying during the safety brief is I was like, raise your hand if you're under the age of 18. And nobody, like most of those things, nobody raised their hand. A couple people did here and there. I was like, you must wear lower mesh mask. The rest of you don't need. I was like, it's not mandatory, but it's highly encouraged to wear lower mesh mask, lower face protection. You've been warned. These tunnels are spicy, and the insurance is not covering your lips or your teeth. So if something happens, you're gonna get lit up. And I said, even though there's no full auto allowed inside of buildings or anything else, you're gonna. I was like, not protecting your lower face. So exactly at lunchtime, this dude came out and his entire side of his face, he had like 10 shots all on his face and on his lips. And I walked over, I was like, and he's storming past me, pissed. I was like, you all right? He goes, I'll be right back. And he comes back like 5 minutes later from Amped and he's got lower mesh protection. I was like, tunnels? He goes, tunnels, and goes right back out onto the field.
I was like, Marty guy's like,
when you said it during a safety brief, he went,
I like Marty guy, evening gentlemen. I hate lower mesh. You shouldn't put your head anywhere. I mean, I have mine will sit on top of my helmet. I'll pull it down when I need it, and I'll put it right back. And I've had 2 teeth shot out, so I know better.
It's like anybody that doesn't do it, I was like, hey, that's your choice. That if you don't want to wear a lower mesh mask, it's not my problem.
but they can go back in and they can fix teeth. They can't go back in and put new eyes.
Exactly.
And so it's like, look, and everybody's high speed about it until it happens to them. Like, I mean, I took run real close to the eyeball, and it's like, yeah, dude, you got lucky.
It's same thing, guys. The guys that want to buy cheap iPro, it's like, yeah, it's full sale, and I paid $20 on Amazon for it. Yeah, one kid at Crucible comes back in the office to buy goggles because there's literally a BB bouncing around between his two panes.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Well,
Direct glasses.
So
yeah, don't buy
interesting to know,
cheap
talking to, being in, military and going to like the military, the warfighter conference, and they've got Oakley there and they've got Revision there and they've got all the other the approved APEL list. And they tell you, as soon as you take a hit to the iPro, you're supposed to toss that iPro and get new ones. And now everybody on here has taken iPro and is probably still playing with that same set of iPro, even though it's been compromised according to the industry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
I'd never been shot in the face. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm not gonna lie and say no. Seriously, there was one case in point. I had a pair of Wiley X's because they have an amazing veterans program. Shameless sponsor plug. But they make prescription lenses, and
Yep.
my partner in crime, Scott. I hope he's on here so I can blame him yet again for this. Managed to point blank me in the eye. Like he jumped out of a doorway trying to get the drop shot on me. Didn't realize I was crotched, and literally right in the eye. Shatters both lenses. I was like, blind man. I walked myself off the field. I contacted them. They no longer make those glasses.
yeah.
And I got a new pair. And like I was upset because they had taken hits to the face before, and my brain went, you know what? If I had replaced these the first time, this probably would have happened. But there's always those moments, and I would at this point in my life, I am way too old to have a bunch of I should haves.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when it comes down to this sort of stuff, because I mean I experienced it just Wednesday at my local field. We had people that show up. Whenever there's a week off of school or a weekday off and it's a Wednesday and the kids come out, it's always interesting when I'm just walking around shaking my head. We had the dude show up in the shop glasses and he got onto the field. I said, hey, that's not good eye pro. He goes, what do you care? And then I was like, because I don't want to shoot your eye pro out. And sure enough, and they were not like the cheap shop glasses. They were the ones that were like supposed to be impact rated and everything else. It's like, you really might want to make sure that they're ANSI rated. And he goes, whatever, sure as shit. Second game, he took he took a Tinker blast to the face and his eye pro went right out. And here's the thing about Tinker. He doesn't stop shooting with one or two shots. When we're going hard and fast, he doesn't stop shooting, period. And that's essentially what happened. And he's lucky he didn't lose an eye or anything else. And the guy ran off the field real quick. And it's like, so is it ANSI rated?
Same issues with freaking guys bringing them to Bad Blood this year. I got called a quote unquote Nazi because I was walking around with a pencil checking seals on goggles, and this whole squad shows up with cheap shop goggles. I know they got a Dollar General, and I went no, and they wouldn't complain. And this is why I love Tom and Ian. They went, well, he's in charge of safety. No.
Yeah. And that's always like the fun aspect too, whenever you go to do this stuff and like to not really call people out. Calling people out is not the proper way to say it, but
No.
to address like anything that we have to be the bad guy on the stream or at an event. And it's like, well, and it's like you're stuttering because you're wrong. We don't care whether or not if you're okay with doing it or not. We care whether or not we're gonna have to call an ambulance. That's where the problem comes down.
And I've told kids plenty of times, I'd rather yell at you so you go spend some money to buy a decent pair of iPro than me having to watch you get hauled out of here on a stretcher.
Yeah, because whether they file an insurance claim or not, word gets back to the insurance industry, they're going to be less inclined to underwrite the risk for everybody else. And a lot of people don't understand that. They just go, well, I signed a waiver. It's not a big deal. It's like, it is a big deal to the industry that underwrites the risk. And they go, you know what? It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And you got to have insurance in order to do these things. You can't do it without insurance.
The same kids that like, well, I use them at my other field. This isn't that field.
Yeah.
Or my personal favorite is, well, we play in the backyard all the time with them. You shouldn't. but it's your backyard.
I mean, I've had one where a kid put a BB in one of my teammates' faces at an event, and we were like, okay, let's go get that thing dug out. Shooting a little hot, and they were chronoing with paintball chronos. We told the paintball field, we told the airsoft / paintball field, hey man, that's great if you're paintballing or you're chronoing paintball guns. It really doesn't work with airsoft. And
unless you're good at math on the spot, it's a completely different diameter. Never mind, I'm not going to nerd out.
Yeah, Roger. I'm again. And then later on, they made a meme of me with all these little, that one meme with all the freaking mathematical equations, like Sal trying to enforce. I'm like, hey guys, look, I don't care. It's not my field, but don't expect us to go back there because, and sure as shit, the following weekend, a dude had his fingertip shot off. The owner's son got his scrotum ruptured by a hot BB, and then another dude had his earlobe shot off, all on the same day. So it was like, hey, I'm not here to say I told you so, but a little bit of safety goes a long way. And they wanted to argue the point, and I was like, dudes, I'm not being the airsoft police. I'm just telling you, hey, these things exist for reasons.
Wiener, try talking. Turn your volume up.
Turn your volume up.
Found a way to silence the wiener. Excellent.
Well, his mic is super sensitive. So what happens is he always picks up background noise, and then his background noise overrides everybody else. So that's why he turned his microphone off. I could tell, and then I know what I'm getting him from Christmas. I'm getting him a headset like this, so he actually
either that or like Walmart's got the Yetis on sale right now. I picked up one down here in Texas for $20.
So
you're going to the pen and paper. Did you really screw up the settings that bad?
It's Wiener, man.
Stu Thomas, gloves, ear pro. Okay, wow. Yeah, I'm a Sergeant Major's worst nightmare. I'm running around with eye pro on. I don't wear gloves all the time, and going down range, doing real steel stuff. And I'm like, I should have gloves on. I should. I've had real world. I've had soldiers get fingertips shot off and whatnot, grabbing hot stuff, and I'm like, gloves.
Yeah.
But then even then, I don't.
I have
dude wearing a cup. I don't know, man. I guess if I was doing that.
All right. I tried it when I first started, because when I first started playing the sport, I got hit down there and it sucked. So I had a cup. So the next time I went to go play, I wore the cup, and I actually got more pain from the cup with chafing and everything else. I was like, you know what? I'll take the risk of getting hit to the no-no zone and be fine. But we were just at an event this week, 2 weeks ago, called Wasteland. It was Wasteland 14. And it was one of the things where they now have to go back to chroning, because before they were on the mentality of, all right, well, a lot of the people haven't upgraded their guns or whatever. But we had one dude had to pop a BB out of his lip, MED stuff and everything else. So it's like, well, the players ruined a good thing, because they're like, oh, we're not being chrono or rank, stuff like that. So,
it's like, who was it? Syndicate 2, when I had to rechrono all the bolt actions because of one idiot.
Yeah. So yeah, Marty, right inside the inner thigh. Yeah, that's probably we were at Overwatch Tactics, Conquest to Avalon, great field. Overwatch Tactics is gone, but big shout out to Bill Soto for hosting. They hosted it at a Renaissance Fair park, and there we are, the Third Coast gang holding this tower, holding this castle, and every single dude that was holding like the main drawbridge castle door got shot right in the dick. It was just like literally like, it was like, hey man, you might not want to stand there. Next thing you know, it's like, and there goes Chav, and it was like, dude, you all right? Yeah, he'd get up and get him out of the way, get him, medicked, and then I'm down there. I'm like, hey, let me step on this side. And then I go down, and then Kraut goes down, and it's like, all right, there's like this one spot where these guys could put rounds right through the drawbridge of Castle Grayskull. Not a good idea. And afterwards, we're like, still not wearing a cup because the chafing. Yeah.
And when you go to squat or kneel or whatever, and all of a sudden you get that really bad pinch, and you're like, oh, that hurt worse than getting struck.
There's an entire group of gentlemen at Fall Warrior that every time they hear my niece is coming out to play, wears a cup. She earned her call sign of nut shot, and it was not intentional. Like it's not like her first event ever. We're out there. She borrows a gun from me, and we're playing. She's having a great old time. We take the lunch break, and all my friends walk up and go, "Your niece, man." I went, "What?" It's like, "She shot me in the dick." I'm like, "Oh, dude." He's like, "No, no, I was coming around the side of the building. There's a hole right there. It was perfect shot right through the gap, right in my junk." About
Yep.
6 of my friends walk up right after him going, "Man, your niece."
Yeah.
And I told her during the lunch break, it's like, if you can avoid that, avoid it. It's a hit zone. If it's
Yeah.
what you got, it's what you got. But he's like, "You're not intentionally like trying to shoot guys in the dick right now." Or she's like, "No, I saw something move, I took a shot." I went, "Okay." End of the event, we're all sitting around, and every guy I was like, "Your niece." They actually got her a patch made, a Dame tape that says "nut shot."
Yeah. It's kind of funny how some of that stuff happens, especially with the way this sport goes. But I wanted to go up to like some of the positives there, and I want to talk about some of some of them really big rewards of running events and everything else and going to
Oh,
events
thank God! I
is
thought you were going to say the positives of nut shots.
no. There's a positive in nut shots. If you shoot a guy in the nuts and they don't react, you know they truly are dickless, you know. But um but I'm just talking about like the three other people, all four of us that are inside this on this stream right now, for example. I consider each one of you friends. I've been on the phone Wiener, I think, more the past month than I had been with some of my other family. Did you not turn your mic on? The little
Wow.
It's the little settings like on the lower row.
He's oh.
Try rebooting your computer. And actually, you're absolutely right. It is number one. That is my video there, Sin. Sorry. ADD. Let's bring back the bars here. So it's like all of us that we met together by doing the events and going through. And Sal, like Wednesday, you paid me the best compliment that I think I've been given so far inside the sport, where you turned around and said, "You're an event producer. You're a member of the event producing family." And it just,
Yep.
and the first time you said it, it sort of I'd like bypassed me. Then you said it a second time. I was like, wait a second. I've actually achieved a new level in my airsoft career.
Achievement unlocked.
Achievement unlocked, event producer. And it was not even something that I strived or aspired to be. It just so happened to fall into my lap when I was talking with this about Papa last night. It was like I never intended to be an event producer, but evidently I'm doing good because we're getting the recognition. Per normal, like I said to you on the thing, and anytime the Junkies or Third Coast wants to come up and be a part of like one of the games, let us know. We could definitely accommodate. And that's the cool thing about this sport is you meet so many awesome people that you get to hang out with, especially at these events. BS. Even when you're on opposing sides, you're still friends.
So
That's the best.
Yeah.
When you're fighting against your friends, and like there's been moments like I had to break up. I got a call because of an altercation that was taking place in one of the buildings. No, it was two friends on opposite teams trash talking down a hallway.
Yep.
And I showed up. I was like, "What's going on?" They're, "Oh no, we're fine, we're fine." And then they go back to trash talking. It was hilarious.
So I think the cool part for us was meeting some great people, meeting people that then in the day job I would not get to meet. Making some good friends. And like I was talking to you on Wednesday last week, I said, hey, man, it takes a special kind of person to be an event producer. No one's getting rich off airsoft unless you live in Taiwan or Hong Kong and you make the guns. You're selling the crack to the addicts. That's fine. The rest of us, the wife is like, please tell me you're breaking even on this. Yes. Okay, fine. You can have your hobby.
Mm-hmm.
And so, people do, it's like, well, bullshit. Yeah. Okay. You can call bullshit. Some people do make, you can't make a living off of it. You can try though. But I think it really, for us, the guys, there's 6 of us that are in the Third Coast staff that we like seeing the players grow. We like seeing the community develop. We like seeing I say maturity, but it kind of, yeah, I know, right? Plastic BB guns, maturity, no way. It's like playing tag as an adult. Anyways, so, but you see people develop, and you see people like, hey man, I got in shape, I got in better conditioning so I could play this hobby. And they wouldn't do that for golf, but they'll do that for this. They wouldn't do that for, hey, I got high blood pressure, but I don't give a shit. And all of a sudden it's like, airsoft. And then they're like, wow, dude, I've actually, dropped weight. And I'm like, hey, dude, that's awesome.
That was like
so
one of the biggest things that happened to me when I first started playing. I mean, I was overweight and out of shape. Let's see, Wiener's back. Let's see if we can actually hear Wiener.
Hey.
No, we can't.
Hey,
no. There. Try it again.
I'm here.
There we go.
Lord.
Okay.
God.
So it's like I lost around 25 pounds of fat and then gained a lot more muscle. I mean, I'm still fat. Don't get me wrong. I'm still a fat ass. But there was and my wife was pissed because I dropped weight fast and gained muscle pretty quick. And she goes, "How? I've been in karate for a year, and you do airsoft for 3 weeks. What the hell?"
Yeah.
Dude.
And there's another. So this is one of the things we're going to talk about. I get it's like a little bit later on in the show when Sal's here for a limited time, guys. He's like the McRib. But I'm starting to find like Sin just found another. It's Nikko Ortiz, who's got 1.29 million subscribers. His video is Airsoft player attacked in battle, and my video is the first one that he reviewed of stuff like that. So it's like I'm starting to show up in a lot of these other videos where people that have millions of subs that are doing it. The only thing I wish they would do is give credit to where they got the damn video from.
Somebody actually sent that to me and says, "Hey, it's the message literally says, hey, is this your boy's video?"
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm a little distracted right now. I hit the fat guy jackpot. I got twice the amount of food I ordered, and they
Nice.
didn't charge me for it.
Nice.
So awesome. But one of the things when it comes down, and there was a segue, the reason why I mentioned YouTube and everything else and about videos and all that. Let's talk a little bit about, and I'm in a unique position because I'm an event producer and I'm a content creator, but let's talk about content creators coming to events and the stuff that they do. So for Big House Milsim, even when it was the other company that shall not be named, when we did our stuff, we've always had YouTube creators come out to us and say, "Hey, can I come out there?" I was like, and I'm going to be honest, guys, if you're coming up to an event producer and you don't have if you have sub 100,000 subscribers on YouTube or like sub 500,000 on TikTok or Insta and all that stuff, really, you're not really bringing much, at least in my opinion, that is going to turn around and bring a lot of people to the game. Now, if you turn around and say, "Hey, I can bring 15, 20 guys," cool. Here's a promo code. You have them use it. We could track it back to you. If that's the case, by all means, we could talk about a ticket and all that. But some of the big guys have come up with, "Hey, I want to attend your event and I want you to pay for this, that, and the other." And I'm like, "I don't need you to attend my event."
Yeah.
So my response is always, that's nice to know. You can pay for a ticket like everybody else. They called me the asshole, so I sent them over to Joker.
So, okay, so let's go down that road for a little bit. There's always, "Hey, sponsor me." Well, we don't sponsor players. We're an event hosting company. Well, I heard you guys give tickets to other event producers. Yeah, because when we go to their events, we want to play, and when they want to play, they come to our events. So, I get it. Guys want to make, well, I'm a content creator. That's great. That's awesome. And one time we had, and I say we, but we got Airsoft Junkies, which I'm not an owner of Airsoft Junkies. I'm not I've never claimed to be an owner of Airsoft Junkies. That's put that out there for public consumption. Okay. And I run Third Coast. Okay. I'm one of the managing partners. Okay. Having said, I'm probably one of the most visible ones. The other ones don't care to be on social media. Even though I think I have a face for radio, but that's nobody listens to radio anymore. Anyways. So when a player comes up and they want to talk about, well, I'm a content creator, I'm a YouTube personality, I'm a celebrity. Okay, great. Go talk to a vendor, because you're going to do more for them than you are for me, because I'm not open every day. That store over there is, and so go do your NASCAR sponsorship, whatever. And so I point them that direction. Okay. Have we in the past sponsored content creators? No, we've gone again through our other sponsors like PTS, HPA, Enola Gay. You know, they've come in and said, hey, this is our list of our sponsored players. Okay, yep, got it. You guys paid a premium to sponsor your products and brands. If that's the person who's repping you, fine, they come to the event. Now, whatever additional charges they run up at the event.
We're going there. All right.
No, I mean,
let's dig in.
In fairness, okay, we've had players, that are sponsored, come to events and go, hey, can I get a case of these frags? I don't know. Can you talk to the guy selling them, and whatever agreement they have with that vendor, that's on them. Okay. And afterwards, hey, they didn't pay. Hey, man, I got it. Go communicate. Like I said before, the hardest part about this whole thing is communication. Okay.
You know what? I to pause on that for 1 second and come back to it. I have found that airsofters are the absolute worst at communicating. Like, I have so many people come to me and say, where do I get the D-Hop barrel? Call Greg at Dead End Outfitters. Can you call him? Why would I call him about your gun? I do it to my own teammates do this shit to me, and I'm like, why am I calling Greg? Well, what do I do? I was like, call Greg, tell him what gun you have, what the length is, and do it. Why am I being involved? I don't need to be involved in this conversation.
So
anyways,
Thomas, my ex told me the same thing. Yeah. So at the end of the day, it's like, okay, hey, great. Hey, we're trying to close the books out for Stonebreaker in 21, and send a reminder to to a player in question and go, hey, man, get with Sam, completely understand. And it was a very friendly email. Hey, man, I know, I got it. You drove 16 hours each way. Completely understand. You forgot. No big deal. Get with Sam. That was it. And that was May 5th of 21, when we had that Facebook chat. Flash forward to getting with, and this is where John Liu is messaging, and I'm getting this secondhand. So John Liu's messaging freaking junkies. Hey, here's a list of sponsored players, or this player wants to come. Hey, yeah, no, that I really don't want to be there. If that guy's going to be there, he owes us money. Okay. I would have rather had communication and said, hey, Sal, what's going on? I never got any of that. So kind of feel bad, because communication started among other airsoft producers. Hey, what's going on? I'm like, hey guys, lack of communication. That's what I would chalk it up to. Just like anybody else, if they had just reached out, because we've had this problem before with, I think every event producer has problems with hey, you going to pay for this ticket? I brought you. Oh yeah, I'll pay you. Yeah, dude's gone. And so in this case, it was like, hey, dude, communicate. Again, number one frustration, communication. And I talked to Josh Warren. I talked to a couple other guys that they were like, what's going on? How can we fix this? And I'm like, hey guys, it boils down to basically outstanding balance. Well, you guys should like just write it off. Okay,
it's a bad precedent.
Exactly. It's a bad precedent.
it set bad precedents for people to say, okay, so when I'm supposed to offset an expensive expense, like it's not a, it, I mean, in your situation it was a little bit different, but we had something very similar happen to where somebody showed up where they paid, they canceled the payment, and there was an issue that came up, and then it's like towards the end of the day, it's like, hey man, um, we need you to pay, and he's like, well, man, I've already paid. I was like, no, the ticket got canceled. You canceled. I just need you to pay the bill. And he goes, why? What's the big problem? I mean, and the same thing. He goes, you know who I am? I was like, I don't care who you are. And mind you, this was not the Big House Milsom event. It was another
Right.
event that I was up. It's like this. I don't care who you are. The fact is that it impacts because budgets are made off of certain expectations and everything else. Just because Third Coast might be extremely large doesn't mean that it also doesn't impact or anything else. And people are, and the expectation, oh, well, because has no bearing. It's like,
Yeah.
did you agree or no? Now, it would have been a different story. It's like, hey, man, I really can't pay. I can't afford it. You guys decide to then write it off. But the fact is, there's no conversation there. And I
Right.
learned a lesson a long time ago. Like, I want to say this was Mayhem, right after Mayhem Mill 1, I believe, with John Liu. I had it out with an admin that was there. It was a really bad call on his part. I got pissed off. And we turned it into a talking point about not necessarily pointing out who it was that did it, but the fact of how things were handled. He didn't see me get hit. He only heard somebody getting hit. And he turns to the other player, do you think you hit him? Of course, the other player is always going to say that, but the video showed a different story. When I went to go bleed out and walk back, I went up to look for an admin to talk to an admin to discuss what just happened because I was infuriated that I spent 40 minutes getting in position. And this guy who was nowhere near didn't see anything happen. I'm not even wearing a plate carrier. He goes, I heard it hit your plate carrier. I was like, I don't wear one. What are you talking about? To be taken out. I walked over to an admin. As I'm talking to an admin about the situation, this dude comes up and puts a C in my wrist. John Liu took offense to that. He thought that I was bad mouthing the events and anything else. I was like, no, this was just a bad call. And I'm not trying to insult anybody, and I turned out I was banned. Instead of going public and say, screw lying clause, I'm banned for no reason, this is BS. I was like, let me have a conversation with John and say, hey man, look, I understand that you're upset about this. I use this as a teaching thing. Never once did I insult your guys. I just thought it was a bad call and what not to do for future events. We didn't mention the event. We didn't mention, all this. So I learned at that time, oh shit, it doesn't matter how much of a following I have. It doesn't matter how much I even pay. You should respect people that are putting on these events because they don't need my one ticket or maybe the 20 people I don't bring. Yeah.
So
I'm
who's
going to be theoretical for a minute and pull out a soap.
Huh?
And this. I apologize if anybody's offended by the following opinion, because this is my opinion. If you are a YouTuber that uses your weight to quote unquote throw around, you don't need my free ticket. You can afford it. It is that simple.
But I throw my weight around a lot.
But we've had these guys that are like, well, do you know who I am? Yeah, I do. You can afford to buy a ticket like everybody else. It's that simple. I have sponsors. My sponsors, I don't even have a YouTube channel anymore. My sponsors take care of me because I do a lot of other things for them. I test things. Let me be honest. I break things and tell them how I break it. I don't go around asking for these tickets because if I can't afford to go to the event, I'm not going to go to the event. You're coming to these events to generate content for your channel. I know what those dividends look like. You can afford to buy a ticket. Like any YouTuber that thinks they are that big, they shouldn't have to pay to go to an event. You can afford to pay. You can afford to support these producers. You can afford to support these people that are putting in money, blood, sweat, and tears to run these events that you are trying to con your way into. Like, I don't understand this mentality of, well, I should get it because of who I am.
And to piggyback on that too, is if I'm given a ticket to go to any event, what can I do for you?
So I've got one that Stu Thomas dropped in. So here's one for you guys, and this will be thought provoking. Okay?
Yes, I know it's a lot of weight. You don't need to point it out, Sal.
No. But hey guys, so here's one for you. Did you ever once hear me or anybody from Third Coast say that he was banned?
No.
No. Oh, and that's
Did
what
any-
we're talking. I didn't even know we were.
Did anybody ever ask us, is he banned? Now I got it. Josh hit me up the morning after. Well, Sal, why'd you guys ban him? I said, hey, well, it's his words, not mine. I can tell you why Sam's got, Sam has static with him. He owes junkies for a couple of helicopter rides that he said he was going to pay, and that was April of 21. Here we are, at the end of 22. That dude, if that's his words, not mine, no one ever heard us say that, and nor did I ever say it. Okay, so I've banned players for doing drugs on the AO. I've banned players I banned a player for stabbing another player. I've kicked another player off for teabagging a female player. These are things that, hey guys, don't ever come back to Third Coast. Did I ever get on the internet and go, so and so is banned? No, it's a matter of, hey guys, they knew from me to them, okay, and said, hey man, don't come back. All right. And actually people are, messaging me left and right. And I really got to find out who my friends were. Guys who I backed when bad shit headed their way and they had no friends online. I said, okay, hey, got it. Appreciate it. Now I know where you stand. You never even asked me what's going on. Got it. Event producers, we talk to each other because that's how we can deconflict. That's how we can possibly go to each other's events. And that's how we can have fun. Because you can't host and play. Like I was telling Wiener, we were talking one night and I was like, brother, thank you for giving me the opportunity to play at some epic events because I can't play and host. And that me and Joker talked about that as well. I was like, hey dude, welcome to the world of event producing. Thank you for being out there because we don't suffer from too many event producers. We suffer from too few players.
Mhm.
And that's where, if we cooperate a little bit, just a little bit, we can all have major success.
Just to
That's
clarify,
awesome.
the teabagging incident was actual like squatting teabagging, right?
Oh yeah. He was like,
Okay, sorry. I'm just
yeah,
checking because if I show up, I don't want to get in trouble. Because my favorite thing today is I bring a box of Lipton tea bags.
oh
I
no.
just drop it.
This was like putting your balls in a person's face.
Yeah, no, that's just uncalled for. It's unclassy too.
Yeah. And her retired Navy SEAL husband almost lost his shit. So I was like,
So
hey bro, don't kill him. He's a kid.
this is some of the fun stuff that, like, as event producers, I'm saying fun and not and like I'm using it, very facetiously. Like when you mentioned drugs, I mean, did you have to call an ambulance because a guy overdosed on edibles? We had a guy at Syndicate 1 OD on 50 milligrams of freaking edibles and energy drinks.
Okay, we had a dude accidentally eat a bag of fiber gummies, thinking that they were just gummy bears. I was like, bro,
No.
the porta potty's right there. Don't go far. We're talking about a dude lighting up on a federal installation. Like, you gotta go. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. This
that's
dude made some
not
really
cool.
bad choices. And first 15 minutes of the game, blind man, where? Over here. That doesn't help, Dylan. Where's the blind man?
It's by the tree.
Oh, it's over by Alpha. Go over there. They're literally carting this dude out. We put him inside of the our stage building 2, which is our admin area, and he starts bleeding from the nose as the paramedics come. Wiener, who is one of the COs, runs over there as a paramedic to take care of the guy, and it was just,
Yep.
how much edibles did you eat?
Still breathing.
Yeah, I mean,
Airsoft
dude
is
ate a whole
making
bag
poor
of.
life
Guy ate a full bag of fiber gummies, and we were like, "Yeah, bro. Now here's some baby wipes. Don't go far." But yeah, nobody asked us. Nobody asked me. And what got me was communication. Had someone just reached out, it would have been put to bed fast.
I
you
can
were the
say
one.
this about that whole situation. Somebody asked me about it, and it went in on one ear out the other. And I said, who'd you hear it from? And it was, I heard it from so-and-so, heard it from so-and-so, heard it from so-and-so. And I said, until it's verified, it's bullshit. Don't bother me.
Well, the funny thing was you contacted me on Wednesday, right? You sent me your number, and I was like, "Is this Area 51? Do I have the magic number now?" And you started talking about it. I was like, "Look, I'm not taking a side. I don't know anything, but what happened?
No,
Because the
you
curiosity is
know,
there."
but the best part was the amount of people messaging us, and for everyone that posted up their emotions and their feelings. There was plenty of others that hey man, keep doing what you're doing, and I'm like, no one's even asked us what we're doing. Like no one even asked it. We were tried and convicted in the court of social media, and I was like, guys, well, it seems pretty petty that you guys let him go. Okay, that's great. I'm glad you voiced your concerns, but at no time
There's
did we, he had an outstanding balance with a vendor, okay, make that
TC,
perfectly
yep.
clear, with a vendor. So that's almost like shoplifting if it was a store. Hey man, I'm going to borrow this and I'm going to buy this, and you never come back, and you know. But in this case, it was like, hey man, just communicate with them, and I got it. How it was communicated to him may have been misconstrued. Like John Lou said, hey, there's some issues. They don't want you there. You've got some stuff you've got to handle. Okay, all he had to do was message either myself, Sam, and I would have said, hey brother, let's figure this out. Pretty simple. Stu Thomas, you can borrow 100 fate rounds. Sure. I don't have
I
any.
don't have
to give.
100 fate rounds.
I don't have 100 fate rounds, bro. I'll give you 100 notional fate rounds.
The thing was that it generated controversy, and I don't know what his numbers were before the thing went, but I noticed when I started paying attention that there were some followers that disappeared from his channel. Which, look, there's a time and place where you must, like, the only time I think you really have to put somebody on blast in this industry if it's something that's going to be extremely damaging to the sport. Like, we went out and had to put out there what happened with the other company, for what that guy was doing and how he screwed over and how he's committing essential fraud, or how we went after Raptor Airsoft for the way that site behaved and acted towards the community of ripping
Man,
off the
Joker,
community.
now we're all banned from Raptor again.
Oh no, anything but that. That'll be like my 20th ban from them. I don't care. Because of the toxicity of what they do to the sport. But I learned it's like, look, there's people in the industry that I don't like. There's people in the industry that don't like me. That's cool. I'm good with never like having to interact, like give you money or interact with you as a business. However, if I see you at an event, I'm always going to be cordial because that's what you should do.
Yeah.
Hey, what's going on, man? And just be nice. And but I come from a corporate background where everybody in a C-level suite is backstabbing the shit out of each other. So you have to be smile and at the back while you're like, how you doing, you stupid motherfucker?
That must be nice.
Yeah.
When I smile and I'm nice to people, they assume I'm up to something.
Yeah. Well, I am able to walk into places and just knife everybody, evidently. But I think that, ultimately, end of the day, you guys aren't really good. I mean, I hope that he learned a lesson that's communicate in the future. I hope other big YouTubers and all that learn a lesson to communicate more. Oh, there was one of our sponsors for our events. He's up in Pennsylvania. I'm not going to mention the name of the channel because it actually hurt him, and he learned firsthand how bad it could be because he decided to go public against Milwaukee Kydex because he decided to switch and leave the team that he was on to form his own team. He went public, and this kid's a YouTuber with only like 300 to 500 followers at the time, next to nothing, and he starts acting like he is almost entitled to some sort of sponsorship. And while it's not a lot, it works out. It's like a 10% discount to a lot of people. It's like, ooh, that's great, that's fine and dandy, but he went public with it, and I'm like, bro, what are you doing? I was like, this is the worst thing that you could possibly do.
But I'll tell you this. So going back to the the people that stepped in, we had guys who were trying to be peacemakers. They had the best interests at heart. You had guys who were interested because they either just wanted to know the gossip, or they wanted to offer their advice. awesome. Appreciate the effort, guys. In the end, I mean, like the previous folks, you know, you, if you owed an outstanding balance and they paid it, that's great. You paid the vendor what you owed. That's awesome. That's awesome. But I'll say it once, I'll say it again. You know who the celebrities are? The players.
Mhm.
Okay. Every single player that buys a ticket and comes out to the event, okay, that's who the celebrity is. Okay. Because we've all been to event producers where they put a premium on the content creators. Or the content, in this case, content creators are sponsored by your corporate sponsors, and it's great. It's awesome. They're there. They have a purpose for being there. They're there to rep your brand. Okay. And that's awesome. So they need to be beyond reproach. They need to have the best rule. They need to be the best followers of the rule set. They need to, everything they do is under a microscope. That's them doing whatever they're contractually bound to that vendor industry, what have you. Dude, that's not, we don't put on events for them. We put on events for players.
Yeah.
Okay.
And whenever
so virtue, I'm right there with you when it comes to, who the celebrity is? The dude who bought a ticket.
Yep. Celebrity is that little 12-year-old playing for the first time, going through and sweeping a whole bunch of people.
Dick shotting them all.
The dude that's 50 years old, first time ever playing Airsoft, goes out and just has a blast with his buddies. Say, "I'm into this. What can I buy?" Those are the celebrities. Like when people go, "Oh, you're a YouTube celebrity," I was like, "Dude, I am F tier. F tier. And if I get up to 100,000 subs, maybe D. But I'll never consider myself like, dude, you paid Z. You gave me the best compliment. I was like, fuck, man, I'm a producer now.
I used to tell people I'm at Q. I'm at Q level.
His head swelled big time. Pat himself on the back.
Well, we had.
Hey, but go ahead.
Sorry, we had an event, and I'm not going to throw her under the bus. There's a certain Airsoft YouTube celebrity who was known for using a specific type of gun everywhere she went. Showed up to an event here in Ohio and asked if we could set up a mission so that she was inside with the winning team. And apparently my laughter, as I said no, was offensive. I'm not changing the event for you so you can get footage. I'm not modifying a damn thing. You're going to go in there and earn it with the rest of those guys if you want it. So they packed up their ball and went home in the middle of the event. And the guys that ran the event came up to me angry. They were furious about it because they paid to bring that person out here for this event. And I said, you hired me to do this job because you believe I have integrity.
This sport is about integrity.
I'm not going to do that.
Okay, so, but I will give them this, right? I will give the guys I will give the content creators, I will give those guys props because done right, they bring a lot to the industry. Okay. Done right, they bring a lot to the sponsors. Okay. And I say sponsors, Hollow Sun, freaking, you pick them, right? Enola Gay, Tagging, what have you.
High-powered Airsoft.
Yeah, HPA. If done right, okay, done right.
Airsoft.
If they do it right, they bring a lot to their brand that they're repping.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
There's a lot of them that do it, and Blind Sniper. If you guys haven't watched his channel, that kid is freaking amazing.
Yeah.
He shows, and unlike, not to throw anybody unless to say anything, but there's a lot of Airsoft footage on YouTube that's clearly edited to show like every shot hitting, all these epic moments back to back. You watch Blind Sniper's videos, the funniest moments are when he misses and you hear him just giving himself crap.
And the other half of it is man is fallible. People make mistakes. Okay. And that's the reason why the biggest, when you ask me what's the biggest frustration, it's communication.
Mm-hmm.
And it works both ways. And somebody said, we're in the day of the information age. I said, no, man, we're in the day of communication. The information age has already passed us. We're in the communication age, where it would be faster and easier for you to go point to point and go, bro, do we have a problem? Bro, I heard some static. Like, let's figure this out, and it'd be more mutually beneficial to the both parties to work it out behind the scenes or below the line, as we say in the military, below the line, than put everything on blast, put everything above the line, and go, man, you guys just couldn't communicate. So going back and saying, hey, to bring a phrase a friend once said, hey, you guys know me, but tell me how I was unapproachable.
Yeah. That's the biggest thing that's frustrating with a lot of the stuff that happens. It's like, well, you didn't do this. How am I supposed to know? I'm not a freaking mind reader.
Yeah. The other half was, well, I don't check my Facebook that often. Really? That can't be a reason. Like, dude,
if that's
come on.
one of your main modes of communication.
And I'm not saying that was the reason anybody gave me, but I've heard that one before where it's like, well, I don't check my cell phone that often.
Dude, the age of trust but verify has died. It's the only way I can put it.
And I don't get, like, I messaged Bo a while back.
Did he freeze for anybody else?
Yeah, his signal went down. We could hear him.
Okay, you can hear me? Great. I messaged Bo a while back. Hey man, I'd like to buy a couple of tickets, to go to Copperhead, and it took him a while.
Oop. Now that's sound.
Now he's not talking.
So
we'll wait for him to come back, and we'll go through. It's like, I mean, Wiener, you really haven't had a lot of time to talk so far.
Well,
but,
it's okay because I'm sitting back absorbing it all in because I just had the company that just went goodbye. So
yeah, for while we wait for Sal to return, let's talk about AT Airsoft
has dissolved.
Has dissolved. It is no more, and I was waiting for that to happen. So I mean, it's unfortunate, that happened, that she had to go through that sort of situation. But like even you were like, we're coming up to you and saying, hey man, you've hit it, and you got some stuff going, and there's always that surprise factor of, really?
Yeah. Well, I know. It's just I didn't know based on my fans here that have fun picking on me about the softball thing, but I didn't know I had that much of a following, and I am completely humbled and awestruck and all that. So Z-Monster back.
Dude,
I
you're
can't see
known
him
quite well as a stand-up kind of guy. Like,
I'll be right back right now.
I've been to events where people have been like, "Hey, you know Wiener?" I'm like, "Yeah, I know Wiener."
Well, that's it. I mean, I go. I'm a player. I've always been a player. I love meeting new people. I love going to the events. I love bringing new people to the events. I love expanding on that. So that's kind of what my whole persona has been. But that's what I am. So it's not like it's been hard or anything like that. I love talking to people. I may not be good at talking on here quite a bit because I'm actually sitting back and absorbing everything. Because to me, I'm still a newbie. That's the way I feel.
Dude,
so anything I pick up from here,
we had like a 45-minute conversation before you introduced yourself.
Right? Yeah.
It's one of those things where then you have that moment. There he is. He's back. All right, let's bring a Z-Monster back in here.
There he is.
Patches were being applied to your computer. Restarting. The fuck.
I've been there, done it.
It's one of those things where all of a sudden it clicks that holy, I've made it to some degree when you get recognized by other people that you looked up to in the industry and be like, holy shit, I'm here. Like one of the first interactions I really had with Sal, and I had an oh shit moment on it, was at Iron Fury. We had some problems trying to get get past the points. And I went in and I went up to, I was told to go talk to Sam. So I went up and talked to Sam. I said, hey, Sam, is there any way that we could have a point inside the wire? Because we're having problems getting past certain points, especially with vehicles at gates. We had a group that was down near the hydrochloric fluoride building, that building that was just not calling hits. And we're calling our hits because the vehicle got struck. I want to say not 5 minutes later, I'm getting ready to get dinner ready to cut some brisket. Here comes Sam, and I'm right next to our command tent, and he throws this thing of Gatorade on the ground, and he goes, what is this? You can't get in and you're going to come in and complain? I was like, oh, fuck. I fucked up. Evidently, it wasn't directed at me, but it sort of was directed at me. I mean, I at least gave a solution. I said, hey, can we have at least some spawn point? And then Sal comes in and goes, don't you know about the special forces spawn point inside the fence? I was like, no. Then we realized where the failure was.
Yeah.
But I was like, sorry. And I'm like, uh-oh.
But no,
You
like
know,
I was saying before he was so rudely cut off by the internet.
Yeah.
Communication. I've seen communication kill more organizations, teams, and events, or lack of, than anything else. And Joker can attest to this. When we're running an event, even during the event, I will randomly stop him and go, "You good? What's up?
Yeah.
I need space."
Yeah.
And so, and I think that's the piece that you know, it really is that sucks, because you try to be approachable, you try to be predictable, you try to get with the players as much as you can. And like one of the guys is like, dude, I don't get on social media. I disable my Facebook before the event because I don't need anybody messaging me direct. I don't know how you do it, Sal. I'm like, dude, I always have people messaging me like, I know I shouldn't be bothering you, but I haven't gotten my ticket confirmation. I'm like, too easy, man. Let me log in real fast. And, you know, and next thing you know, I get a friend request. And I'm like, okay, when I meet him, I'll accept it.
Wait, we can turn off our social media before events? Holy, why haven't we done this?
You can.
Because
I can't.
Well, because it has to do with customer service. And I know. And so that's trying to answer questions and be of service to folks. And I loved it when I went to the very first Doomsday Airsoft to Operation Overwatch. Everybody was talking about, oh, this, and oh, we're using AMS, and AMS let us use a rule set, and blah blah blah. And I'm like, oh great, hey man, this game's rocking and rolling. I'm having a great time. And then they're like, wait a minute, who are you guys? And it was like literally after the raffle, walking over and talking to the guys and going, hey, yeah, we're an event producing company. Don't worry about it. We had a great time this weekend. Let us know, what. Oh shit, we didn't even know you were here. Yeah, that's kind of the point. We show up and have a good time.
I want to be. Sometimes I want to show up and be under the radar and not be yelled at.
Well, yeah, I want to have fun.
Dude, we had the same issue when we were running Crucible. I gave the entire staff a weekend off so we could go play at another field. My guys didn't get to play anymore. And we got there, and first game was great, and then the second game, the owner shows up and he goes, "Hey, I know you guys from the other field." I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "Oh, you should have told me you were coming." I was like, "No." No, we just want to play. And after that, like every game before that, they were mixing up my guys. We were having a blast shooting at each other. After that, we kept ending up on the same team. And I'm like, I don't want any special treatment. I want to play.
Yeah. And that's why meeting Wiener back in the day, and having a good time. And how do we make the event? I'm going to ask you the same. After the end of the tier ones, we always ask the customer, what did you guys like about it? What do you guys want to see in the next one? Coach takes that very much to heart, because he's like, all right, hey, did you write that down? Did you make more pyro? Dallas, who's now a member of our staff. Yeah, next time, instantaneous explosions. Okay. The next night, he hit the clack on the Claymore, and there was no delay. At the AAR comment, he's like, yeah, go ahead and put the delay back on the Claymore. And so we took that to we take feedback to heart, because we want to evolve. We want to stay relevant when we want to stay right on the line of having fun.
Let's talk about feedback. I love this. Because when it comes to feedback, we have so many people that turn around and say they give us feedback all the time, right? They always give us feedback, and a lot of them get pissed when we don't take their feedback. It's like, look, I understand you think that the feedback's good for you. We got to look at what the feedback's good for the most people. And it's like when we have no full auto on buildings, we don't have full auto on buildings because the way that the prison up there is designed, you can literally hold down the basement in 2 hallways with four SMGs. That simple. It's one of those things that you can do. And So we had to make the decision that there's no full auto indoors. Now, sure, we'll take the shit for people that don't like that, but we got to look at what's the fun for everybody else. You know what I mean?
Tight corridors.
Yeah, or like we don't allow riot shields. TCA doesn't allow riot shields either, right?
No, neither does AMS.
Yeah,
Most places aren't allowed or removing them altogether. Because players are treating them like they're immortal.
Yeah.
Well, it's
or
also
a rotary launcher.
Yeah, it also can cause. It also causes some of the worst to come out in terms of drama.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, so let's just avoid it. Or from real world experience, one of the guys Demolition Ranch. Hey, let's test what happens when you shoot a riot shield with 7.62, and you go, yeah, BB's. Granted, you're only firing 30 rounds at it. BB's. I can only imagine Wiener opening up with a saw and somebody carrying a ballistic shield. It's gonna, it's gonna go through at some point.
I can't remember the event, but the one kid had it, and he comes over complaining about it. He's getting overshot because he has a riot shield, and I stared at him.
Well, there was
was going to happen.
There was a funny moment at Bone Strike where there was that hallway of death at Bone Strike, where the green team decided, hey, we're just going to move this bookshelf down the hall to deal with the guy that was in the murder hole, that was not calling his hits, because watching our BBs go in and shoot his shiny dye mask, and they're just pushing this bookshelf down the hall. All of a sudden, admin comes around. Admin coming through. Fuck! Because he got lit up by everybody out the other end. Yeah. And he comes walking up and he goes, no.
Yeah, that was Coach.
Yeah. He's just like, no. and I was like, I was like, man, I wish they would have came. I wish it would have been like a minute and a half later, because we would have had that corner. But it's like the feedback. Some people take a huge amount of offense. We just don't take their feedback, and it's like, I get it, I understand it, but it doesn't work for us. It might work over here, but it doesn't work for us. We're gonna do what works.
Marty guy, don't move the props.
I like you, guy. Scorched Earth. When I pulled shower shells off the field, I had 3 guys complaining about it because they brought a bunch of shower shells. I said, no more shower shells indoors. And there's 30 players over here going, thank God.
Yeah.
Because the guy had a rotary launcher. He pokes in the corridor and he just starts spamming shower shells down the corridor. And I'm sitting there going, yeah, no more of that.
No. And I think that's where the communication across the event producers. Hey, do you guys do this? No. Have you guys seen this? No. How about this? No. And the more we communicate, we can make the game better. And it's like, well, we allow it. Okay, well, how does it work out for you? Yeah, well, okay, great. And then there are other event hosts. Like I've gone, it was great to go to a Milsim West game that was actually like within my work schedule. We went to the one in Oklahoma. I think it was Salsk. Sean, it was like, Sal, you got to come. I was like, dude, if my work schedule will allow it, I'll do it. And so we all go to it. We had a great time because it was the guys running together. And it was like, yeah, this is awesome. It was a good time to run together, and it was an FTX field training exercise. If you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And, we had a good time. We saw a bunch of people there. They were like, you guys come to these? I'm like, yeah, why not? I mean, it's 31 flavors. Try them all.
Thanks, stop.
But yeah, dude, I think the more event producers communicate, the more one will avoid issues. And player base will actually go, all right, I can't get in trouble and keep playing everywhere. So
yeah.
I'm reading Marty guys. Grenades are so picky. Let's see. Yeah, true.
$8 to $10 tag. It may not be. Yeah, so we always have, like, for the prison game that we have here, we take, like, if somebody throws a frag inside of a room that's about 30 by 30, we say it kills the entire room, because if a real frag went off, even if you're not dead, you're more than likely going to be concussed. You're going to be on the ground. You're not going to be having a good day. And then people can go in and take them out. Because remember, you're not truly dead. You're just wounded until you bled out. So there's a difference. Like at Bone Strike, There was the one room that I was in that there was 3 other guys that were in there, and they couldn't get me out because of the weight. There was like it was like one of those showers that was in the back, and it
Mhm.
had curved. So each time they chucked a grenade in, it never got inside of where I was at. I had hard cover. So they'd throw a grenade in instead of pushing. Well, a couple times they did try pushing in, and I shot them, and they were taken out again. Well, they decided the easiest way to get me out was to be like, all right, let's do it this way. They threw 11 grenades at once, and all 11 grenades went off within a split second. Yep, I called myself out. I was done. That was a ow, this sucks. And it was the magnitude of just the explosions that went off. And it's like, but it took 11 grenades at one time for me to say, you know what? I'm done. I can't hear. I feel sick to my stomach because of the pressure wave and all that. And the dudes that were in the room right in front of where this thing exploded. And then they come in and go, where the hell were you? And they go in there, they go, oh, that's a pretty sweet spot. I was like, uh-huh. And then, of course, I learned how to take it out. Since I was in there, I knew how to take it out, which is you just go around. They didn't check around to see if there's a back way in. But, you know, it's.
I think Stu had a. Stu. That's the reason why, you know, if you're gonna do a ban, if you're gonna tell a player, hey, don't come back, you know, it's got to be well founded, and I think it's got to be one-on-one, where you tell a player, hey, dude, sorry, man, don't come back, and then you kind of keep it off the airwaves, just because, you know. But again, what is it? What's posted on certain restaurants? We reserve the right
to refuse anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm not disagreeing with you, Stu. Sometimes there's some diligence that needs to be done. But
Now,
like I said before,
I don't blame John for what he did, because as like at the time, yeah, I was like, what the hell? I have video proof. I didn't even badmouth the guy. But then here's the cool thing. It's like when you become an event producer and when you're now the shoes on the other foot, I've seen how players treat some of the staff. And I don't have it either. I will kick people off the AO if they're treating my staff like shit because they're a paying customer. Yeah. I don't need you to destroy my staff's morale, their mental state, or berate them for stupid shit that's especially beyond their control, right? So I didn't really blame John. I just wanted to have a conversation with John. I'm like, look, there was a discussion that had to be had, and if the admin in question wasn't such a dick about it, I wouldn't have posted it. But I wanted to show him that he was wrong in the interaction, that I didn't get hit, and that he should be calling stuff that he hears when he's not in the room.
Yeah.
Right. And that was where the whole argument came up in the thing. So the way I was treated, I was like, all right, well, I have no reason to hold back now. But then I also learned a lesson that, look, what I said, everything I said was factually accurate. It almost caused me not to be able to go to an event. So I learned, watch your freaking mouth, unless you never want to go back to a place again, because you could be banned. And watch out with who knows who, because you never know who's connected in this industry.
Like my take on it, and I was talking to Wiener one time. I was like, dude, when have you ever seen me blame the game? Overwatch, I remember it was like Overwatch 4 or 5. 4 guys were like, oh, we can't get out of our spawn point. I was like, okay, you guys are playing Airsoft. Stop playing Airsoft. Start thinking like it's real. Like there's 180 degrees worth of exits. Quit going to the same one all the time.
Exactly.
Like just relax, guys. Let's start looking this way. You know, and all of a sudden it's like you don't play Airsoft. You're actually using.
Hold on, I want to shut something down real quick because I see the comments coming up here, guys. This is not anything bad against John Liu or Lion Claws. The issue was resolved. It's good. I'm good with John. I love Lion Claw events. I'll continue to go to his events. He brings out badass AOs, and the people that he has in place at these events put on spot on events. Yeah. So this is not going to turn into a trash. There's only one event host that we're going to allow you guys to trash here because he's no longer in business, and it's not Wiener. It's not anybody that's here. It's the one that was supposed to have his first solo outing, and it failed because he tried to scam an insurance company. All right, so
well,
as you're saying,
too, because they can always make fun of Raptor.
That's a field. That's not an event host.
Fair enough.
Yes.
Yeah, you don't host.
All right, so first off, you'll never. you'll never hear me go. I'll never put down another event host because I have the utmost respect for anybody that's willing to take it on. I was telling Wiener the other night. I was like, "Hey, brother, hey man, let me tell you, anybody that's willing to host games, host events, simulations, whatever you want to call them, there's a special place. There's a special place for you. Come to the house, drink my whiskey, walk my dog, hang out, because you're willing to take on a stress that there's no amount of money that's ever going to make that. Well, there probably is, but
there's a number.
There is a number.
Yeah.
Powerball. Damn it. Okay, but more to the point, because you were willing to take all that on to put on events, no matter the shade of event, Milsim West, AMS, Third Coast, it doesn't matter. Those guys, those staffs are doing it because they love to do it.
Yep.
And they love to bring those events, those experiences, because the reality is it's an experience. Every event gives you an experience you want to talk about. And you guys, man, let me tell you, it's rewarding in a sense. When somebody asks me, why do you do it? I'm like, see all this? This is why, guys having a good time, getting together, barbecuing in the parking lot. That's what missing. That was really what was missing in Iron Dagger 1 and 2. You really just can't step off the to the parking lot to cook and shit and have fun. It's like, no, we're on the clock. Let's get back in the get.
Yeah. And unfortunately, that's one reason why I won't be able to go to the Iron Dagger series, because I know me, I wouldn't want to step off the field and I'll kill myself with exhaustion. I cannot camp out anymore. My body just won't let me. The aches and pains I have of being old.
So you're telling me you're willing to staff? No, okay.
Hey, if you need help, like I said, I'm always willing to help. I mean, we show and the brisket. That's what people really want me out there for, is the brisket. I see how it is. People want my meat in their mouth.
Hey man, let me tell you, Iron Dagger, we'll do one a year if we go back to Shelby. And I've said it here. I always give you an exclusive. If we go back to Shelby.
All right, if we go back to Shelby, I'll just be that asshole that has to go out to the RV and sleep.
Well, we tell players at Iron Dagger, hey man, pace yourselves, have a prepared rest plan. Know when you're going to step off, because you need sleep. Fighter management, warrior rest, whatever you want to call it, crew rest. I think the only 2 events we'll ever do nonstop or continuous operations is Iron Dagger and Trench Knife, just because the AOs lend themselves to that. Now, of course, I'm going to get like 80 messages. Well, Sal, when do tickets go on sale for Trench Knife? Whoa! I'll let you know.
Well, I want to address it this way. It's one of the reasons why it's like, I don't like, people say, what's your beef with Milsom West? I don't have beef with Milsom West. It's a market that people want to go on. They go, well, why won't you go? It's like, because my body won't let me go is the reason why. I cannot haul around anymore a 3-day ruck. I can't sleep out on the hard ground anymore. I've kicked my own ass with my skating career that really gives me aches and pains to this day. And then also, it's like, I just would not have a good time. So I'm not going to waste the money going out there. Now, if his other company has an event that I'm interested in, I'll go to it. Like, if they ever go back to an aircraft carrier, I'd be all up on it. If they go to Camp Shelby, I'll be all up on it. It's not a matter of the reason why I won't go is because I have a beef. It's not that. It's the reason why I don't do nonstop events. It's because I can't do it. I know my limitations, and that's where more people should know where their limitations are. Because the number one injuries to old men is thinking they're young men.
Hey,
Been there, done that.
I stopped doing the big long events because one or two things happens. I rest up beforehand so I can go, and we get there, we're set up, and we're running, and half of my guys drop off, and eventually in the middle of the night it's just me, and I'm like, well, this is boring, and I go join everybody else.
Yeah, or I was taken back by the number of guys who took off to the parking lot and left. I was like,
well, the other thing I don't like about them is exactly what you just said about the whole going out barbecuing in the parking lot. I like part of the reason why I go to these events is obviously to have fun, get good footage, and go on an awesome AO. But the other half is legit to hang out with my friends because some of the friends I don't see, but maybe 4 or 5 times a year, and like the guys at Dark Horse 6. I love hanging out with Augie, Steve, Tom, and all them, and hanging out in the parking lot for hours at a time is there. Now, when I host my own events, I really can't do a whole lot of that until
Right.
I'm off.
There's
I'm on
no
from
time.
I'm on from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., 12 straight hours, and then I'm off unless something comes up. Then I go to the parking lot, hang out, socialize, but I really don't get a chance to decompress. That's why when I go to like Bone Strike, I'm looking forward to it because we're going to be able to hang out there, go out, talk with people, and have a great time. And that's sort of the thing. It's sort of like why we airsoft. Why do we do this? The money's not great. The time sink is horrible. The stress is intense. We get yelled at and screamed at by people for stupid reasons. Why do I gotta wear? Why can't I wear my my shop glasses for at your event?
What do you mean multicam tropic not allowed? What do you mean multicam black?
And when it all boils down to all this, it's because of the people and the interactions that we have, and then and it's always funny and weird how people come up with like their own misconceptions on why, like, Joker, why haven't you gone to a TCA event? I was like, I just went to Serious Viking.
Yeah.
Why did you go to Iron Dagger? Because it's not my cup of tea. And besides, I only want to do GTI once a year. I mean, for me personally, I was there when he had Stonebreaker, Iron Fury, and Serious Viking 3, I think it was, right? Two. Serious Viking 2. I did GTI like 3 times that year. I was like, all right, I'm GTI'd out. And actually, I was also Guardian centered out until you announced Serious Viking 4, and I was like,
gotta do it.
I'm going back.
But I think Stu Thomas has a great. I'm there to maximize playtime. Hey man, I'm right there with you. You know, when you're going to an event, some people, I mean, it matters. If you're going to spend all that money to go to an event and you want to maximize your playtime, then, like I said, man, I won't bash any event producer. You know, I'll try them. There's things I love about them. For me, that it's not my customer base's cup of tea, but man, I had a lot of fun.
Yep.
We just had that 2 weekends ago with Wasteland 14.
Yeah,
it's a Wasteland, it's a Fallout themed event. Wiener's like, I'm not sure if I'm going to like this, and we had a great time because we captured.
I had a blast. Yeah.
So call sign poison. Never honestly been doing. You know, dude, just go. That guys are like, well, my kit's not ready, and I don't have. Read the rules.
Nobody cares.
Read the rules. I don't care if you're still wearing ACU or excuse me, UCP. Sorry, but the gray shit. If you're still wearing that, come on, rock it. Let's go. Just show up to the event, read the rules, come out, and have a great time.
Exactly. The only thing that matters is your head, your clothes, your shirt, and your bottoms. That's it. Like, gear doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So one of the best events I've been to playing airsoft, or because I randomly went on a whim. Honestly, one of the best 24-hour events I ever went to was in the UK. And I went because my buddy, when I was there for work, says, you play airsoft? And I went, yeah. He goes, they're running an event. I can get you in. And I was like, I didn't bring anything. He's like, I got you. And we go. It was an amazing event in this old World War II field somewhere. I want to say it was Germany. Might have been Poland. Anyway, their night game was hilarious because what they did was they gave Sharpies and silly string. If you took somebody out in the middle of the night, you can shoot them with the silly string and be a silent kill, or you could slit their throat with the Sharpie. In the morning when they got up, if they were taken out, they had an extended respawn. And it was, guys honored it. It was hilarious. I'm sitting there at the respawn. There's guys covered in silly string, just like, I don't even know how he got me.
It's going back to like Tubbs, to answer your question, yes, Wiener is coming to Geigerlands. We're absconding with him.
Yeah, being kidnapped.
Wiener, you got a suit and tie, right?
I got a suit and tie. Yes, I do.
All right, I'm stealing Wiener.
It don't matter because it's that's the fun of Geigerlands. It's a free for all event. But Poison, when it comes down to it, the only thing you really need, you don't need a lot to get into them. Just bring your gun. Just make sure you have 4 or 5 mags, maybe 6, and just wear the camo the color that you decide. Like if you're going green, woodland is always acceptable on green. Tan,
81, baby, God's plaid.
99.99% multicam is tan. So you have your 2 colors that you can go off with. And there's really no need to build anything else out. Like I would bring a hydro pack just because people drop like flies. And don't be like Stu that spends thousands of dollars on his kits and everything else, because you don't need that. I run with a battle belt and H harness that cost me $50. My helmet, this helmet right here, with everything on it, everything that's inside here. This is a $100 helmet with my lower mesh mask, the iPro, the X-Fog, and the helmet. Oh, I'm sorry, 110 because I have a green thing on top of it as well.
Yeah, people spending money on expensive guns and kit and stuff.
Yeah,
and guns are a different story. I'll spend money on guns for no tomorrow, but when it comes down to kit, I don't care. I mean, hell, I got to buy a replacement battle belt now because some people like manhandled the shit out of me at Scorched Earth.
I just figured because it's too small now.
I just liked it when a brand new player goes to an event and wins all the shit at the raffle.
Yes.
Yeah, Gert, where are you?
Yeah. So Gert,
Man,
he was in here earlier. Gert Gaming is the name that was on the from the YouTube channel that was commenting earlier. His first event, first time ever playing Airsoft, Z, was at Syndicate 1. He started with an Echo 4 JTF mission. So the only other thing that he could do to top that is maybe do a helo run because it was us all up there. It was all up high from that moment forward. So this kid started off at some of the top stuff that he could have done, and he's been having a blast with this ever since. I mean, if you're looking at his kit, then it was like, okay, you could tell you're a new player. No worries. Well, we're going to send you with a battle buddy that's going to help you make sure that you know what you need and all that. Oh, make sure you also have a dead right and like tourniquets. Dead right.
Poison, I completely understand, but for the other guys watching the video, they really fret over kit and gear. But if you're trying to get a team put together, yeah, I can see it's going to take a little bit of time, for sure. But yeah, just pick an event, put it on the calendar, and start. All right, guys, this is it. We're all going to this event. We're all going to be running this side. Like,
check.
Put that mark on the wall, and go. All right, guys, we're getting ready to go to that one.
Check.
And that'll drive the
it
guys.
like it's 2 days before the actual event. So if your team becomes anything like my team, you don't want to actually give them any leeway.
Now, the other thing too is just make sure that if you go to an event, go to the event page, discussion boards or whatever, whether it's on Facebook or Discord, and say, hey, I'm new, I'm coming in, can I run with anybody? And you'll be surprised at how many people be like, yo, come with us.
Absolutely.
I've taken a bunch of new people on at several events and just like follow me. And I give like the things, if we're in a basement, don't turn on a light unless we say so. Because I don't want to be backlit and all of a sudden be out in the open for people to shoot. And just try to mimic what we're doing. And they learn so fast. It's great. It's awesome.
And I will say this on behalf of every event producer, promoter, whatever there is, read the players packet. Please.
Can I have the panda patch, please?
Yeah. Did you even read the op order? We tried something new for Iron Dagger. We came up with a player SOP. It was like read the SOP. We didn't issue an op order for the event. We said, hey man, everything's on the TCA SOP. Pull it down, read it, digest it. And then the guys were like, Sal, again, feedback. They're like, hey, we really dig the SOP, but can you guys still issue a op order? Because it really would at least spell out the scenario, less rules, more scenario. And I'm like, okay, that's fair. That and our forward respawn bags can't be red. They need to be another color, which we got that. We understood it. But yeah, thermal scope and GTI. Yeah, dude. That's true. I'm just going through his comments.
Yeah. Stu is one of our longest viewers, I would say. And half the time when he comes out with stuff, it's like half of it's serious, half of it's like, Stu, dude, Jesus, man, you're the uncle that's at Thanksgiving dinner.
One of the Muldoons had a thermal at Iron Dagger, and he was spotting guys like left and right. Then he got on the helo, for the tier 1, and he was like looking, and he was spotting wildlife. He was like, "Oh my God, there's deer everywhere out here." I was like, "Focus on the mission." But yeah,
one of the best. I mean, talk about best moments at some of the things. Like, it was really cool that time that you had me bring the bus to your event, and you guys used the bus as a helo drop for the tier 1, which I thought was kind of cool.
Some people liked it, some people didn't.
You can't please everybody, you know.
Yeah.
Dude, it's better than what did they say? It was a retired U-Haul truck.
I mean, but the effect. I think you're going for a particular effect, and some guys dug it, some people didn't. I mean, at least we tried it. And now we actually have the helo fly in tier 1s, which that's a mathematical space-time equation that Snick and I and a couple others agonized over because aviation gas is money. Wiener, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
We were asked, why don't we have a helo at the prison? And I said, because I don't want the ticket to be more than the cost of the event. I don't want it, and I also don't want to have to dedicate. I don't want to have to dedicate the staff to do that, you know, because it takes a specific, and Sal knows this. It takes a particular staff to be able to make that thing successful and safe, you know, and it is definitely worth trying. Like, if you go to an event to do a helo ride, it's one of the top 4 things you must do at Airsoft. You got to do at least one helo ride. It's fun as hell to sit there especially if you have a handheld tag launcher and you see the Junkies Humvee down below and you just take a shot at it and you kill 2 vehicles in one shot.
I'm still gonna pass. I did enough of that shit when I was in the Army. I'm good.
I remember
the helicopter. I'm like, nah.
My first time in the helicopter was awesome. I enjoyed every minute of it.
We were down in it was funny because we were down at Overwatch and Sam's like, "You want to do it?" I'm like, "Oh, okay." And he goes, "You've done it before." I'm like, not on that platform. You know, we take off, we fly around. I'm like, "This little bird kicks ass." He's like, "How many times have you done this before?" I'm like, "On a little bird? Never." It took me to go to an airsoft game to do it. You know, and then, you know, flash forward a deployment later, it's like, okay, hey, sure, you've done this before? Yeah, I've done this before. Like, did I want to tell him I had done it at an airsoft game? No.
At an airsoft game.
And then there we are, flash forward to Iron Dagger, and a buddy of mine from Centurion Combat Simulations. I was like, hey, man, you know, we still got tickets open. Oh, I want one. So he buys one, he gets on the bird, and he goes, you know, dude, I was a cool guy for 20 plus years. I never got to do that. I had to retire from the Army and then go to an airsoft game to do it. I was like, yeah, isn't that cool? I was like, you want to do it again? He goes, once is enough. I said, okay. You know,
Besides, to answer your question, we actually have it up on our rules.
And we go by joules, not FPS.
Yeah.
Again, most good event hosts are going to run everything based off of joules and not off of FPS. Fields a lot of times use FPS, but for DMRs, you're looking at 2 joules with 0.32 BBs, with about usually a 50-foot minimum engagement distance.
Yeah, it depends on the AO. You're looking at between 1.5 and 2, depending on the AO.
Yeah. So. And usually it has to be a true, depending on the event you go to, like I think TCA has this rule, it has to be a DMR platform. It just can't be an M4 with the bipod and the scope.
Yeah. So that's probably one of the most commonly asked questions. It's got to be a 7.62 platform, right? I'm like, no, but it's got to have a magnified optic. If it's not a 308, if it's a 5.56 platform, it's got to have a bipod. It's got to have a scope. Why? Well, because that way the player who got shot by it can identify it. The admin who's looking around can verify that, yep, that's a DMR. So when you own a player at distance, oh, he shot me up close. Okay, well, let's go check his tag. Drama is kind of reduced when you mandate a certain platform. And so when guys bring out the hammer, the Scar H with the extended barrel and the optic on it, it's like, do I have to have a bipod? No, it's a 308 platform. I can visually see it from here and go, he's a DMR.
Yeah,
so it works.
It's always funny when people like complain about stuff that event hosts put in place, because it's like, bro, we do this to make like we have, since we have no full auto on buildings. You know how many of the stoners, like the stoners there that can go
The
semi-auto.
Stoner, the Crytek, all the ones that can flip
Yeah.
this.
It was like, no, and they go, why? I was like, because if they need to be able to identify what it is, and if somebody is suddenly shot indoors and you're with, because remember you have an MED, because LMGs can shoot at a higher joule limit, we have a problem. And then what happens is people get pissed off, they flip the wrong switch, somebody goes full auto. That's why we just don't allow LMGs to fire indoors. It makes the rule so much easier, so we don't have the problems. So we don't have fights break out. And it's very rare that we had, I mean, we've only had in the entire history of all the stuff that was there, only one physical altercation, and it was a shove, and it happened at the last event. So here's one that is one of my biggest things: the Sunday fuckery.
So getting back to the differences between Iron Dagger and our normal phase games is Iron Dagger, you kind of have a formation at the beginning, and then hey everybody, we'll see you at the index at the raffle, versus having formations from phase to phase, and you go, hey guys, don't be dicks, play right. You know, we kind of remind people a few things, and then you hit the game. You know, you turn the game on. That's what we kind of miss at phased events, because you can get everybody together and go, hey guys, let's avoid the Sunday fuckery. Let's play honest. Let's play good. Let's get after it. And by the way, don't do the following things. You can remind them, and then they get back on the field, and the game flows better. Yeah, Iron Dagger, man, you're just looking for index. You're like, any second now it's going to be over, because the staff's fried, players are fried. They just walk up to the top of the hill slinging BBs because they're tired. Everybody's hit that wall, or they're in the parking lot packing up because they got to drive like 20 hours to Seattle. So it's like, yeah, dude, I understand.
But like we had for the first time, like we had a different set of problems at the end of Syndicate 2, where we just had bad play. This was bad play on our part, where we confined 155 people into one building when it should have been in buildings 4, 5, and 6. And that was because when they were going through and were doing that morning formation, there was only 55 people in attendance. So it's like, okay, there's a small amount of people. We'll just put them in building 1. I said, don't do that. I was overruled by, the owner of the company. I was like, okay, you're going to pay the price for this one. And I continued packing up because I had a 20-hour drive home.
Yeah.
But the Sunday that we had for Scorched Earth was the most amount of war crimes that we have ever issued within a 3-hour period. Than we had all of Saturday combined, all of Saturday from the previous event combined. It was like there was
ridiculous.
So many war crimes. It's because players were hot, players were upset, they didn't bring enough water. Even we supplied like 8 cases of water that they burned through. They just there was so much stuff that it's like, did you people forget overnight the rules of this AO? Just asking, just curious. So
again, a challenge. Trying to keep people on game. I'm here just to get my gun on. Hey, that's great. There's other event hosts that do that. Go there, or they'll be here in January. Go then, or they'll be here. Go. Whatever field you're hosting at. It's like, hey, dudes, we're doing this. It's Milsim. I get it. I should be able to run around and do whatever the hell I want. Oh, that's great. They have rooms like that you can buy and smash furniture and stuff. Again, you can't demand a stranger be a good sport. You can only demand it of yourself. And some people clearly never played sports as children because they don't understand what sportsmanship
Dude,
is.
I literally,
No kidding.
grown-ass adults, I had to go in the building K before I closed down that part, and they're yelling. I said, how old are you? He says, 34. I said, act like it. And he stared at me and blinked. And I went, you're yelling across about plastic freaking BBs.
I literally, when we had the incident that happened, that one player shoved another player, and it was over a mistake one player said he admitted to. I got off the back of the truck, and he goes, I was like, who laid hands on the player? He goes, but he. I was like, let me get this straight. You laid hands on a player because you got shot with a plastic BB. And I said it like that, and then the look of the oh fuck hit the table. It's like, I fucked up. That's what we're talking about here, guys.
Yeah.
You're upset about getting shot with a plastic BB, and you laid hands on another player.
Yeah.
But see, I understand you have to go soon. So, and we have, I mean, obviously, Bone Crusher sold out.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. Fast, by the way.
Yeah, another record, right? We expanded the AO. We grabbed the River Valley and the Hilltop. You know, it's a gentle rise up to the penitentiary. The winner of Iron Dagger got to decide if they wanted to be in the defense or offense at Start X. Western decided they wanted to be in the defense. You know, okay. It comes with a sense of like, okay, there's advantages and disadvantages to this. If you're in the offense first, well, watch Saving Private Ryan a few times. You'll love it.
Yeah.
If you're in the defense, hey man,
you better know all the angles because
you better be prepared. Yeah, you better be prepared to give ground and only have to take it back. So, and everybody keeps asking when Stonebreaker tickets are going to drop. We're going to drop Stonebreaker
tickets going to drop.
We'll probably drop them. Let me look at the calendar real quick.
Hey, Stonebreaker tickets going to drop?
That's a great question. I'm glad you asked. We're probably going to drop them either Friday the 4th, but not later than the 11th of December.
Okay.
Just because, you know, we want to get the word out and get guys who are like, hey, are you guys locked in? Yeah, everything is locked in. We've already signed the contract with GTI and everything. It's just a matter of when do we want to launch ticket sales. And so, you know, it's either this Friday or next Friday. Probably going to be this weekend coming up.
So I'll go ahead and we'll go ahead and put a link up and everything on Tuesday. This Friday, I'm actually going to be heading up to Atlanta to go play at SNS Airsoft for a bit. So I asked Sam, I was like, hey, you going to be at Junkies? He goes, no, why? I was like, well, I'm coming by. He goes, well, it's my daughter's birthday. So happy birthday, Sam's daughter. I wish I was going to be up there to meet you, but I mean, I'm going up there to play and then coming back. And then the following weekend is actually, I'll be at Rev 12, and that's my birthday weekend too. So
wait, you got a ticket?
Yeah.
So we're excited.
Well, hold on. Just so you know, Sin, I was given a ticket, and I was just given a ticket 2 days ago. So, you know.
So
I've been busy.
You know, for the guys, the West Texas crew, I felt bad because I left El Paso in like a hurry. It's like, get the hell out of West Texas. You know, I'll see my El Paso crew at Reindeer Games. Coach is bringing his oldest boy. I'm bringing my oldest boy. So we're going to have a father and son Reindeer Games shoot them up.
Nice. Are you also going to Thunderdome?
I am. What side you running?
Green.
Great. So are we talking like narco cartel?
I don't know what side that is. I just know that I'm going to be wearing. I'm running with Dark Horse 6. What is it? Wiener?
Green is cartel.
Yeah, we're going. Yeah, cartel.
Okay.
You can see him vibrating with excitement.
Okay, good. Because day one, I think we're going to do Vatos Locos. We're going to break out the plaid and the freaking bandanas, or one of the days.
Awesome.
And then the next day, I think we're going to run like the bank heist theme from Heat. So, I mean,
well, sir, like I said, you could come up. You could also you got tickets to come up to our event too, which is that's the weekend. That's what 3 weeks after your event after Stonebreaker. So what is it?
Yeah. So I was trying to get to Milsim West, the Salk game in Oklahoma, but day job took up that weekend. So sorry, Sean. Sorry, Josh. You know, once again, Airsoft and day job interfering with Airsoft, but that's okay. Trying to get to Papa's game in January, not January, first weekend of February.
See Marty.
Dale's going to step in and lead TAN against the evil forces of the naval forces of Freddy. That one, maybe, I don't know. We'll see. Oh shit.
We're not allowed to do any announcements of what's going to happen. They have a big announcement set up for tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Shit. But yeah.
Oh, that's something new I just heard.
Not it.
So-
I didn't do a pop.
Not it. That's cool
okay.
though.
So, okay.
Give me 1 second.
Okay. So, yeah, Stonebreaker for sure. And then we're trying to get something put together for post Stonebreaker, post March.
Please not April. Please not April.
It won't be
killing me,
April.
man.
No, April's
Good.
full, man. Like April, I mean, there's so much stuff going on in April.
No
know,
kidding.
We're looking at May. May seems to be a good month. And then, of course, Southeast region gets too damn hot after June. So, but that's where we're going to be. And then Serious Viking, once again, in September. So, the season goes by fast.
That one's. You always have it set up a specific week for Serious Viking, right?
Yeah, but
September.
until we lock it in, I don't want to, because I learned my lesson, communication, right? We mentioned a weekend last year, and guys were like, "All right, I'm buying my plane ticket coming from Spain to come to Serious Viking." I'm like, "Whoa, wait a minute, like hold on, like don't go spend like a shit ton of money until the contract is signed with Guardian Center, because guys were automatically trying to dive in with both feet." It was like, hey, yeah, we had guys come down from Canada, and it was like, hey, man, I'm really glad the weekend didn't move on us. So I don't want to tie it to a specific weekend. We've asked for certain dates. If they give them to us, great. Because we really want to go to Copperhead. That AO is pretty awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the first weekend of September, I believe, right? Is Copperhead. And then our event, our unnamed fourth event that we have or technically it'll be the third for next year, is the second weekend of September at the prison. So
Stu Thomas, I just want more decommissioned nuke sites. Yes.
Yes. But Z, we really do appreciate you coming out, man. Talking. I mean, you're obviously welcome to come on anytime you want to drop stuff. Because we always love hearing exclusive, especially if we hear that little birdie tell us something about a place that we really want to go to. I would love to hear it, because we TCA events are so far, out of all the event hosts I've been to, and it's not to knock anybody else, you have the best run events with your staff that I've been to. I usually don't have to go far to find an admin. Usually if an admin's there, they're fair and balanced and everything else. Unless, of course, I have my first time running a technical and there's a gunner up there without an actual mounted thing and we're told one thing then another. But that's another story for another day.
Yeah, I know.
But it's the fact is that everything's handled as professional, and even if something does go wrong, it's usually not held against the player after the event unless it's something extremely
egregious. One and done, man.
It's like, oh shit, I screwed up, and you guys got some of the best safety and the best rules in place. So, and you guys are pulling out some kick-ass AOs that people want to go to. So if you missed out on Bone Crusher, you should probably look to see where the next time it drops, because that AO is fantastic.
Yes, it is.
It's a lot of fun to run around in. TCA puts on some pretty awesome stuff. And I mean, there's always Stonebreaker, which I got to make sure that when you go to drop those tickets, my guys buy their damn tickets, because I'm sick and tired of this. Oh, I'll get it next week. Yeah, sure. I'm not getting extra tickets for you all. Nice try. I can't. So thank you, sir, for coming on. And again, you're welcome.
Good seeing you again.
It's great seeing you, Wiener. Virtue always. I saw Waterburger, so I know you're in Texas. So we'll have to figure out how to get
more
together.
days.
Okay. We'll have to figure out how to get how to hang out, man. So
I'm gonna try.
He's in the Houston area.
Damn, there's like 6 staff right by you. All right, guys.
All right, I'll talk to you later, brother.
All right.
Have a good night.
All right.
Where's Buck?
Do my microphone clear up, or is it still a mess?
It's better now. Yeah.
What's that?
What you need some sort of noise canceling in the
Well,
background.
why don't you send me a link? Send me a link for a
I'll send you
headset,
something.
and I will go order
No
it
worries.
right now. What's up? Let me go let my dog out. He's whining over here. Be right back.
Say his name and he shall appear.
I'm here.
There he is. Be right back.
How we doing, boys?
Pretty good, Buck. Yeah, so in case you guys were wondering why I kicked Buck out and brought Sin in and everything else, guys, we're only sticking with a 4-person format unless we're introducing somebody else and pulling it back through. We've been viewing some of the past streams and all that, and having too many people on the screen makes it really, really small, and people have a hard time following. And a better chair. Stu, I was going to say that also. But I think he'd be better off if he just has a proper microphone that he talks into, like a proper headset, because his mic just picks up everything in the background.
Especially when mom's watching.
Oh, wieners. Sorry.
Show. Yeah.
So it was great having Sal on. I love the dude. You know what is funny? The last time I had Facebook issues, he was also on. So I'm going to blame Sal for all the Facebook issues.
Yes, not the Facebook god himself.
Well, right now, Facebook, he's Mark's banned.
I did hear that.
All right. So I want to go over something that we were sort of talking with Sal about that was just funny because I'm going to play a video here in a second. But I almost got, and now we're talking about player behaviors here, right? I actually got threatened for to fight somebody last Tuesday, and I really am still flabbergasted that this kid's still going on about it. So I'm gonna play the video real quick, and you guys tell me if I'm being disrespectful.
I shot you all the way back there, bro. Yeah, don't do that again, bro. Huh? I shot you right in your side as you ran past me.
Well, I didn't finish.
Well, I shot you. Just don't do it again.
Don't do it again. That's right. Don't do it again.
Well, the reason why I said it was we swept through, and he went racing after Tinker after I shot him, and he shot Tinker 5 or 6 times at the back when Tinker's hands up. Cool. Like, whatever. He was mad that we spawn capped him and swept through. Not a big deal, right? It really isn't. It's the way it was supposed to. It should have died on the vine. You figured that would be the end of it. Can you believe that guy wanted to fight me after that video? Because I disrespected him. Because he walked off the field. My interaction with them was all of 10 seconds. I said it in a normal way. I did not curse him out. I did not yell at him. And I literally, I come walking. First off, we realized at the beginning of this game, like within the first minute and a half, 2 minutes, that this was going to be a bad game. We had him spawn trapped. I'm sitting on my throne, which is the pallet of flooring. Sin, you know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sitting there, and I keep the gun down, and I'm just doing pot shots. Somebody takes me out, I walk back to respawn, I go back to my spot because we have them trapped. So finally, I get up and say, "Screw this! This is pathetic. This is worthless." I go out and I go tell the admins, "Hey, you guys might want to blow the whistle. They're spawn trapped. They ain't coming out." They go, "Yeah, we got complaints about you." I was like, "About me? What the hell did I do?" Because I really didn't do anything. He goes, "Yeah, you were cursing out players." I was like, "You were yelling and cursing out players?" I was like, "No, I wasn't." I was like, "I'll play back the video if you guys want, but didn't do anything." And then at that point, a guy comes up. He goes, "Well, I shot you and you didn't call your hit." I was like, "When?" I was like, "I put my hand up every single time." There was like one dude that said he shot me and he didn't. Even then, I said, "All right, man, whatever. My hand's up. I'll walk back to respawn. Not a big deal." I was like, "Were you shooting me with your pistol from underneath the plane?" He goes, "Yes." I was like, "Well, First off, you're shooting sideways with a gun. I can almost guarantee your gun's not shooting straight because that's how guns shoot. You know, especially if it's an Elite Force 1911 pistol, you might not have the range. I was like, you did get me. I mean,
Elite
you
Force
shot 7
1911
times.
pistol. Did you say Elite Force 1911?
That's not Elite Force. That's G&G.
Oh, I know it's not, but you said Elite Force. You said 1911.
And I was like, you know, you hit me at the end. He goes, well, you're slow to put your hand up. I was like, but did I shoot at you? He goes, no. I was like, my hand went up. It took you 7 or 8 shots to hit me. It's not a big deal. And he's like, all right, cool, man. I was like, because look, I mean, I'm just being respectful to you, right? I was like, I have no reason to. We had you spawn trapped. There was no reason to do it. I was even shooting my own players because we had you spawn trapped, and a couple of guys weren't calling hits. So I was like, what's going on? And he's like, that dude was okay, but this, I'm calling him Napoleon because he's maybe an inch taller than Greg, and weighs about. I'm serious. Look. Let me pull up the video for you guys to see, so you guys can get perspective on just how small this dude is. And I'm not meaning it to be an asshole or anything, but
Sure.
you know, it's one of those things of, look, I don't go fucking with people twice my size. Even if it's twice my size around, it's like if Tubbs count me in a dark hallway, I'll be like, yo, bro, all right, cool, whatever you want. But you'd almost think here he is walking beside me. And God damn it, I hate it when it does that. Look how short he is compared to me. You almost think he's a kid. He's not.
Wow.
He's an adult. He's almost a foot. I mean, he is short.
Wait, was he there when I was there?
I don't know, to be honest. I met him the first time a couple of weeks ago because of another YouTuber, and I'm not going to put that YouTuber on there. He's on that YouTuber's thing. It's a new YouTuber, whatever. We didn't have any problems that day. So here, literally, this guy's half my size. So when I came out there, he goes, "Yo, you're not going to be disrespecting me, man." And the player admin goes, "That's the guy that really has a problem with you." He goes, "You're yelling at shit." I was like, "Look, I'll go get my phone now. We'll solve this problem right here." And he's standing there. I was like, "Bro, why are your fists clenched? Why are you squared up?" Here, I'm just leaning on my gun, and I have my helmet underneath there. I'm relaxed, and I'm trying to have a conversation. This guy keeps going off. He dropped the N-word a lot. You know, he's Hispanic, but he dropped the N-word a lot. I was like, finally, I said, "Bro, can you use a different word?" And he goes, "Oh, you got a problem with it? Does it hurt your sensibilities?" And I was like, "Just choose a different word, man." He goes, "White boy can't handle it." I was like, "White boy, there's a good word. You could use that. You could also use the derogative of that. I don't care, but please don't use that word." And he goes, and he still mouths up. He goes, "I'll take you out." And I was like, "Bro," I turned to him and said, "Get the clearance, right? I'm not doing anything." He's overreacting. He's literally legit overreacting. So it's like I was going back and forth with the guy, and I'm like, "Look, man, I'm trying to be respectful here. I'm trying to do. I'm trying to explain that." When I saw it, he goes, "I didn't feel the shot." I was like, "Okay, but you still came out there hot. You went chasing after Tinker because he trapped you in spawn." He goes, "No, I didn't." I was like, "That's exactly what you did," and that's what the video shows. You saw him running out, chasing after Tinker. I shot you in your side. It's not a big deal. This should be over. Why are your fists still clenched? And he's like, and he's got that the posture like this, and I'm like, "Bro," he goes, and he says like some variation of "I'll fight you" 6 different times, and I'm like, whatever. So I'm gonna go get my phone. I'll settle this right now. So as I'm walking away, he goes, "I'll kick your ass." And I turn to the admins. I go, "Can you do something?" I was like, "There's no reason why I should lose this cool." That entire interaction, from even with the slowdown portion, is less than 20 seconds. Less than 20 seconds. And I disrespect him to the point where he's pissed off. So the story should have ended there. Well, I walked outside to get a drink. All of a sudden, Tinker's outside, and he's up on the loading ramp looking down at me. I was like, "What's the matter?" He goes, "Oh, nothing. The guy threatened to kick your ass when he came out here." I was like, "Okay." So he then comes out the front door and goes towards the other door. And I just follow him in. I don't care. If he takes a swing at me, he's probably either going to he's definitely going to get banned from MA, and he's probably going to get arrested because I'm petty like that. I'll be like, all right, bye. I don't have to see you again. I was okay with him coming into play because I would just shoot him, and then he could shoot at me. He can get his aggression. I was not asking for them to do anything. I just have to, each time a threat is issued, you have to tell the admins so they're aware in case something happens on the field, right? Everybody would agree with that?
Yeah, that's pretty respectful.
So, because I tell the admin. So, and now he's in what he's in like this. At Miami Airsoft, there's a loading dock, is where the staging area is. Well, in the staging, we call it the stairwell because you go up and there's like an area there, and they have tables set up. Now, this was Wednesday where there's no school, so the MA was kind of packed that day. Evidently, when he made the threats, they were talking about kicking him out of the day, kicking him out for the day. Well, as I'm standing there, again, he makes another threat of, I'm going to take you out. So Tinker this entire time is like, don't say anything, don't do anything, don't say nothing. So when he finally said, I'm going to take your ass out, I was like, look, I'm sorry, you're not my type. I'd like to see my dates eye to eye. Right? And then Tinker's suddenly in my face going, bro. And I was like, come on, you got to admit, that was funny. And then he said something, and he said something like towards Tinker. So then Tinker turned around and just stared at him. So I was like, all right, let me go over and tell the admins again. I was like, hey, man, just got to give you again. He just threatened me again. So just giving you a heads up, you might want somebody in the tower to watch. That's it. I don't care. I'll still play. They go, oh, really? Now he's definitely gone. We're just going to sit him out a couple games. Like, you don't have to kick him out for me. I don't care. They go, nope, he's gone. So they kick him out. We play a game, and evidently his brother was there, or somebody that rode with him. And even they're like, yo, can you chill? I mean, come on, man. So we play a game, we leave. So we think that the thing is over, right? It's done. He's gone. We now have a new cheater to deal with, which I'm going to show that video later on. But the after about 3 games, all of a sudden, one of the managers comes out and goes, hey, call your wife. And I'm using a totally different name because David is calling you. Your wife, David's calling. I see the number. I was like, I don't know this number. I was like, whatever. I thought he was just fucking with me. And I put it on the admin and I walked away. You know, like, what does that have to do with me? I had no idea what was going on. We go and play like a game or two more, and it's time for us to end today. So we go into the shop, and we're talking to the admins. I apologize again for what happened. I was like, sorry that you guys had to deal with that. Not what I want to happen or anything else. And the guy goes, yeah, well, his boy keeps calling. And I was like, wait, what? Just then the phone rings. And he goes, oh, Joker, good, you hear? I was like, yeah, why? Who's calling? He goes, your wife. And then he hits speakerphone. I was like, hello? And it's this YouTuber that is like, hey, man, can you get my friend unbanned? I looked to the admins and go, you banned him? And they go, no, he just got kicked out for the day. In fact, when we kicked him out because we weren't going to give him a refund, he turned around and said, you lost me as a customer. I was like, okay. So I was like, well, he's not banned. I don't know why he would say he was banned, but I didn't get him banned. In fact, I didn't care if he went home or not because I was just going to do what I do every time that somebody has a problem with me on the field. We'll handle that by shooting each other with plastic BBs. That's what we're supposed to do. So this guy's like, oh, well, can you just get him unbanned? I was like, he's not banned, bro. And then the admins are all there like, can you guys handle this? Because he's not banned. So they're like, he's not banned. He can come back, whatever. Just he needs to check his attitude. Figured it would end there. But no, when I posted, and then he goes, please don't post a video. I was like, oh, you don't know damn well I'm going to post a video because this is too good of a story not to tell. And then there's, on the short, there's a comment from this kid that I had an interaction with where 22 comments long, he justifies his action of getting upset and being pissed off because I called him a cheater. I didn't call him a cheater on the field. I said, just don't do that again. In fact, the video probably wouldn't even been posted if he hadn't done what he did after the fact. So, players, if somebody has a GoPro on, probably you shouldn't be enticing them to get in stupid-ass arguments or fight them clearly when you're wrong. Anybody else have any input on that?
There's a lot to freaking unpack there. In general, I don't get why he got so upset. Also, you did you, and you just couldn't hold back cracking the joke.
Oh, dude, no, I couldn't. After like the 8th or 10th time I got threatened, I had to say it because that's the other thing I said too. It's like they go, well, what if he fights you? I was like, I'm going to let him hit me, but then I'm going to sit on him. I'm going to pull the tubs. I'm twice the dude's size. You know, he better have a hell of a lot of arm strength to be able to lift me up off of him, because if not, he's just going to be smothered. You know, it's like, I don't understand why people think they need to go up and threaten to fight somebody twice their size. Maybe they just haven't had a good ass kicking before.
Here's the thing: most guys, I can't believe I'm going to quote Letterkenny here. Most guys who are begging for a fight have never been in one. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, I never put my glasses on while he was in the place because I know better. You punch somebody with glasses on, their face is getting fucked up. As I'm talking with Tinker about it, actually reminds me about 2018, where one of the few times I got somebody banned was because a dude punched me in the face. I saw it coming. I prepared for it. He punched me in the face. And then I spit a mouthful of blood inside of his face and said, "It's my turn. You never seen somebody that was black turn white before until you see that happen." Because I just took his full hit, turned to the side, and went. So, and besides him, there was only one other person that caused a problem. By the way, Wiener, you really need to lube your spring, bro, and your chair.
It's a $20 chair. Why?
Well,
I've got a $20 ball and it doesn't squeak.
Hold on.
I'll wait for him to come back. But I mean, I don't get why some people have to feel the need that they have to fight, and which leads to another thing that Sin turned me on to, because we're going to show that video too, because I got to see what this guy says about my video, because I didn't watch it. But so what else? What else do you have to unpack about that, Sin?
Oh, just there's a level of just stupid that I don't get sometimes. Like, why would you even? So he apparently called his YouTuber friend over this incident, and through the entire thing, just refused to own up that he did something wrong.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, that's a level of entitlement I haven't seen in years.
Yeah, he goes, "I took 100% responsibility," and then he put
No, you
but.
didn't.
He put "but" after it, and it's like, when anytime that you put "but" after a comment, that's not how that works. You know, and
You validated your entire claim prior.
yeah. Oh, shoot. There's 30 comments on there, and it's mostly between the comments are between him and I. He said, he goes, he blames me. Or blames that he didn't feel the hit. And then he goes, "Dude, I would have a bruise on my side." I was like, "You know how many shots I've taken point blank with 500 FPS BBs that the bruise goes away in a day or two because it's just a little red mark? It doesn't stay. I mean, this one has stayed underneath my arm, underneath there, but that's because I was shot like literally. Oh, now it's gone. A little bit yellow, but I was shot there 5 times in the span of a day. Saying I don't have a mark a week after the event is irrelevant, right? And I might have hit him in the plate. It doesn't matter. The fact still is, if you got hit with a BB and didn't call it, that is a form of cheating.
That's literal cheating. That's not that. There's no ifs, ands, or buts.
It might have been unintentional. You didn't mean to cheat, but it's still, you took a hit that you didn't call, and then ran up and shot a player that was dead. That's the reality. And if you just let shit go, and I even gave him, you're gonna love this, Sid. Where's what I think? Well, I did start calling him Napoleon because, you know, that's exactly how he was acting, the Napoleon complex. And I think he was taking it as a compliment. So I said, there's three things that you really need to identify. You got hit and didn't call it. You overreacted and threatened to fight me over 6 times in front of the refs when I was talking to commenter, all because you were disrespected. You didn't take any accountability for what you did and continue to justify your overreaction. Now, that became a story to talk about. So look, Napoleon, the way I see it, you have a few choices. You could let this go, and in a day or two, no one will give a damn anymore, and life moves on. You could give a sincere apology for your actions, try to save some sort of reputation with my team and I, and would show some level of integrity to us and anyone else reading this. Or you continue to post here, and I will laugh, others will laugh, and we'll continue to keep the issue at the forefront of the minds, and this will be the most entertaining option for me at least. Your choice, Napoleon. Can you all guess what choice he chose?
You piece of
Entertainment value. Thank you, Napoleon, because now you're subject to the conversation.
Yep.
So many people don't realize that they could just walk away. It's airsoft. Airsofters are going to forget. Unless you burn them for money, they're going to forget in like 30 seconds. They're like 3 months later, it's irrelevant. Like, wait, I had a problem with you? Why? Yeah, he chose door number 3. And I don't understand why he decided to choose door number 3 and continue interacting. But I literally gave him the out to just be like, bye. He never should have overreacted, and this entire story would have been done. He thinks that I'm going to call him out. He goes, oh, and he also said, I'd never been called the cheater before. I know that's a damn lie, because you could be a player that has never cheated your entire airsoft career. Like, never cheated. And still be called a cheater.
I've been called it. I think at least every single one of us in this chat has been called a cheater at least a dozen times.
Oh,
At
yeah.
least.
Here's the thing.
You're not calling your
us,
hit. What hit?
Hold on. All of us have cheated in airsoft.
Never.
Bullshit.
Unintentionally is what he's trying to say.
I will own it to the fact that I forgot I've had a dead reg out. It's happened.
I did it.
Hell, I called you on having your dead rag out.
Yup, it happens.
I mean,
It's one of the
happened to me.
things where everybody has cheated, unless it's the only person who can say they did not cheat at airsoft was Gert just before he started the JTF mission. That's it. That's simple. It's that simple. Everybody, especially in this chat, has made a decision at some point in time when they've gotten upset to be like, fuck it, I'll deal with the consequences later.
I'm God mode. Yep.
Yeah. Yes, you have. Yes, you have. I don't even want to. You can't even say anything else. Otherwise, you have done it.
Here goes the
To be
video.
honest, no, I honestly can, because there's never been a time where I've gotten that heated and I just said, you know what, I'm just going to go. No, that's completely different. That wasn't damn it, fuck the consequences. That was damn it, you're in my house.
Yeah, well, okay. That's still have the consequences.
I am the consequences in that case.
Everybody has done something, because you cannot say that you played the sport, especially for 10 years like he claims, and not have done something stupid. We all have. Hell, Joker shot me and I had no clue I was still walking. Exactly. People inadvertently and sometimes overtly cheat. Like, sometimes they do it out of anger. Sometimes they do it because, screw you, you're cheating. There's all sorts of stuff like that, right? So you can't go up there and make these comments and expect me, who knows better, to be like, yeah, sure, bro. Like, okay. Nah, just own up to your mistakes. Move on. Or better yet, if I have the video proof that shows you angry, running out of spawn, getting shot, shooting somebody, because I can bring up Tinker's perspective. I have it, but I mean, it's all from the rear. You can hear him getting shot, and he's just like, and he continues to walk without even turning around, which is great because this guy's gun didn't hit for nothing. So, lesson learned, guys, is don't piss off YouTubers, content creators, because the arguments you're doing only help us build a better narrative. It's awesome. So with that being said,
new subs.
Oh God. So this one is going to be a mini intermission. I know we haven't had these in a while, but I do need to go to the bathroom. I just want to play this.
Yeah,
This
I'm not
is.
going to be coming back. I got to go.
Oh, you got to take off, brother. All right.
Yep.
Well, Wiener, thanks for coming on. Appreciate
No
you.
problem. Thanks for having me. As always, I wish you could have talked more during Sal, but I was sitting back absorbing from the great master himself.
Yeah, you're not allowed to buy anything for your computer because like I'm not allowed to buy anything either because Christmas is around the corner.
Right.
I'm not even allowed to buy new Hawaiian shirts. My wife says, I placed an order. I placed an order yesterday, and the order got canceled. It's like, what the hell? I go back in. It's like, why is the order canceled? I place it again. She comes in and she kicks open my door and she goes, "Stop buying shit. It's Christmas." Yes, dear.
Yep. Yep.
So, all right. Well, everybody, thank you, Wiener, for coming on.
Thank
Wiener, it's not a party until the Wiener comes out, but the party still goes on when the Wiener goes away.
That is true. That is true. I leave a lasting impression.
That was pretty good. I'll give you that. That was good.
That's called a mushroom stamp.
Well, I'll bring him back. I thought that was a great exit for you, sir, and I just exited you out for
That
you.
was great. You guys
Thank you,
take care.
sir.
Be safe. Have a good one, and I'll see you next week, hopefully.
Talk to you later. Bye.
Squirrel.
All right, so I'm going to play this next one. This is one dude in all these clips. And I'll be right back because I really have to go to the bathroom and find out what just broke in the kitchen.
Bro, I got you right in your chest. You too. There you go again. Go. Walk. I shot you right in your fucking leg. Again, right? Again! Again, not calling your hits! Right there. Again. Right there too. Right there, right in your fucking leg, dude. Walk. Before I even got
What a glorious human.
His shields were on, and he had like a perk.
So I first got to apologize publicly to Tinker because he thought at that last one, I went out and I told the admin, tell this asshole how trades work, right? And this ref started speaking in English, and I said, oh, that's right. He doesn't fucking speak English. And Tinker took it as I was angry at the fact that the kid only speaks Spanish. And I was like sort of being derogatory towards Spanish speakers. I'm not. I was more frustrated that the fucking point couldn't get across to this idiot how trades work, that just because you pull the trigger does not mean an instant death. I still have a reaction time to shoot him. And if he gets hit, fucking trade. Yes, Ben, so much anger built up over the day. So Guys, just because your gun's shooting at 400 FPS does not mean that your BB travels 400 feet in a second. It means that when it comes out of the barrel, it's traveling that rate of speed, and it is actively slowing down as it traverses through the air. Almost every single one of those shots, you can actually hear me shoot before I get hit. Or in some cases, I shoot him before he even pulls the trigger and he still fires back. Like I particularly love the one where he's inside the house and I shoot right between the slat of the turret that's there, and I get him right in the neck. But no, I didn't hit him. Physics for the win. So what do you all think of that sort of shit? Let me ask this: am I justified in getting angrier and angrier and angrier throughout the games?
No, you're completely in the right to be pissed off about this. Like, there was no logic in there.
The dude that was in all black with the pistol is actually one of the refs for the field that finished his day and decided to play, and he had a similar problem with the guy. So, yeah.
I can definitely see where the frustration would build up. I think the misconstrue definitely, based off of your frustration, was definite. Like, I can definitely see where it hit the frustration aspect there.
Yeah, because the first interaction I had with him was that shot right between the two spots, which was a beautiful shot. I mean, the other two sucked. Funny to watch sometimes and very relatable to most indoor airsofters. It definitely gives me content. I mean, don't get me wrong. But it's like video. Does help to bring up the right one if I'm gonna. All right, my first interaction was actually shooting him into the house, but this is what I'm talking about. This right here. This was like a beautiful. God damn it. A beautiful shot, like right in his neck. And you mean to tell me you didn't feel that? Anyways, funny as hell. So, with that being said, Sid, you sent me a video that I alluded to earlier. So this again, because I at least give proper credit, is Nikko Ortiz, who has 1.29 million subscribers. As a military veteran in the Army, I think Airsoft's a lot of fun, but I have no idea all the crazy injuries and fail moments caught on camera, which is absolute comedy and could be the funniest thing I've seen. I'm going to send him a message saying, hey, can you please at least give credit to the video, to all the people that you took the videos from? Because, question, where do you post these videos if it's another YouTube channel? No, I post these videos here, and then I also post from the TikTok, all on our channel. So here, let me share the screen because I'm going to try doing it this way. So if you're a content creator and you take somebody else's videos to do reaction videos on, which is fine, make sure that wherever you take it from is right here. Because I don't get, because I should be getting credit for at least part of my videos that are on there. So, and I don't care if he's got 1.2 million subscribers or not. What I care about is the fact of making sure everybody at least gets proper credit. So this is Nikko Ortiz, and let's see what he has to say about that, and then I'll make sure to put this inside of the description for the channel since we're watching it.
All right, number one. They do this shit like backwards, so I'm always like, this is gonna be the worst one, and they're like, no, we got way worse one. I'm like, oh my god.
Come on, man.
What is that?
Right there on your arm.
I don't know how to always do this, bro, because I always want to keep pausing it and break shit down. Okay, wait, we're gonna go back really quick. He got a cute light. I don't know what this thingy is. It's like a visor or something for his reticle, or maybe like he got a GoPro or something set up. And got like a laser thingy, but this bitch shooting at his ass, bro.
Come on, man. Right there on your
Come on,
arm.
man. Bro.
Yeah. Hey, dude.
Dude. You're out, bro. Dude, he's just sprinting up. Imagine if just right here, you just see this dude like, there's no side of me. Dude, just running for him. That'd be funny as fuck, too. Is he still shooting him? What the fuck? Is he still shooting him? Is he still shooting him? Bro, you better not be shooting your airsoft gun at me, bro. I swear to God.
Walking back to spawn. What the fuck is your problem?
Oh, shit.
Because you calling me, I hit you. You hit me. You didn't hit me. You didn't hit me. Nobody hit me. He hit me back
Oh, they gonna be sucking.
I'm backing off.
Bro, who's this dude?
Let's pull back the video. That guy shot me on purpose.
I don't get it. Okay, it's not a big deal.
The same shit happened to me. Cool. Walk it off.
The ref is like, listen, bro, you're kind of being a bitch. I need you to fucking leave, okay? And then he's like, the other dude's starting. And he's like, he's also very big. He's small, but he's like stout, kind of ripped. I'm scared, so I'm picking on you, scrawny bitch. Let's go. Wait, I want to know what the fuck this was in this dude's hair really quick. What's in your hair, bro? It probably helps with like aerodynamics when he runs and like distracts the enemy because it like flaps noise like sprinting up on somebody. You know what I'm saying? And then this dude is just blowing the fuck out of himself.
I'm going this. I'm backing off.
Help me. Why didn't nobody like talk to this dude that was like kind of being the loudest and instigating the shit? I'm kind of curious, bro. Kind of curious. No one's with that dude. They're like, came back. He's like, bro, that boy scary as fuck. What you doing, bro? You gonna beat my ass in your ass? Ooh.
Are you rushing all the way around?
Are you rushing all the way around, bro?
All right.
You gonna be like,
All right, that deserves for that deserves a sub for me because that shit was funny because I didn't know what the fuck I was gonna see or what I was gonna go into. So I mean, obviously
TikTok, and he does like the different branches in different situations, and they're always
yes,
lit.
They're absolutely excellent.
yeah. He that was kind of a funny take and everything else. What I should probably send him is the other fight videos and shit. Be like, hey, bro, do these ones instead. But I'm gonna go into the idiot. Go into the video right
our
now.
Reaction to his reaction.
Oh, that's it. I can't do it now, but I definitely will. Because his reaction is just funny as hell. Like, what's in his hair? I hate to tell him that it's like that's the way they identify people on the field. What the fuck's on the front of your gun? It's a lens protector, dude. You know, come on. If you want to get some good videos, I got some good videos of fights and shit. But this is.
Wait, whoa. Can I please restart this? What just happened, bro?
Rushing all the way around?
Are you rushing all the way around?
All right.
Bro, that kid was like, ah! Bro. Look at the hero here, bro. Medal of Honor, dude.
I want to invite him to a game just to see what fucking happens.
I would lose my shit.
God, now I gotta find him on Facebook. Now I gotta find him on TikTok because I know who he is. I've seen some of his videos before, but I gotta reach out to this guy. I gotta find him, and I gotta be like, bro.
You want to see this shit up close?
Oh god.
Oh god.
Oh, that's funny as fuck.
Oh god. I gotta see if I can message this dude. Oh wait, message. There we go. I want to bring him out to Syndicate 3.
Yes, please. Let's get him out.
I'll see if he responds. If not, I'm gonna tag him into the video and just be like us laughing and shit. But I subscribe to him. I guess you guys all should as well. Let me just go ahead and copy this. Go to our. Wait, does anybody want to bet if we've been demonetized or not? Anybody want to bet?
I'm betting we have. I don't know.
And the answer is limited. Yes, we have. All right, I'm gonna edit the details. What is edit? 9-2.
Definitely say if we do get him out there, he probably won't go cartel, which will kind of suck. Sorry, anybody that's not in cartel, get fucked. Love you.
think that was the timestamp. All right, save. He's at least been notified. But we at least give proper credit, right? So, geez.
Proper credit where credit's due.
Yeah, I just got to see if I can get him to go through, but I'll do a reaction video to one of his and say, to see if I get like day 3 of trying to reach out to Nikko Ortiz. At me, bro.
Well, you have a decent amount of TikTok followers. I think you'd probably have more luck trying to reach out to him on there.
That's where I did it at.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Well, you can't see it, but I'm on TikTok. But that shit was that shit was hilarious. So I'm gonna do like we definitely have to go back through and I'll clip it just at that point and then do a reaction video of our reaction to his reaction to our game. Maybe if we take it one step further, he does a reaction to our video of his reaction to his video.
Just keep the wormhole
keep
going.
the cycle going for like a few more weeks.
Yes, you're just farming clickbait at that point.
I got to go through his other videos, man, to see if there's anything else of mine that's on there, because it would just be like, "Hey, bro, reach out, please." Oh, that's weird. You only be getting the stream notifications? I mean, we're posting. Well, we did miss all of Thanksgiving for updating shorts and everything else. So that's mostly because of just life and everything. And I really wanted to save these good cheating clip moments for this stream. So the other thing that happened is what I think caused the guys to be pissy and hateful and everything else last weekend was this.
Good trade.
I like how the chick pretty much cursed me out for taking a shot at him, shot at her head. It was the only thing I could see that was like a hard target. But let's see here. Tubbs, you're a bad man. Just saying.
I mean, we are literally going to be the cartel for Syndicate 3. He's supposed to be a bad man.
There's certain stuff that we're allowed to have and we're not allowed to have, all right?
Like nice things.
I mean, I could be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure at least quite a few of the people that are going cartel that are at least like aware of the inside joke are going in kilts just because send it.
Oh, so he's actually, that's kind of interesting. He's broken up his channel into 3 separate channels. Of course, I guess when you get to that level, you can afford to have 5 different channels.
You also can incur like significantly more revenue.
Well, apparently he used to play Airsoft, is what I'm understanding from the comments down here.
All right, there's player attacked in battle. You know what I need to do? Let me just go to my let me just go to my copyright and see if there's any strikes anywhere. Oh fuck!
I take it you've been copyrighted.
No, there's. Hey, look, this call sign Buck guy.
Call sign Buck.
Yeah, look, it's you. Stealing all of our. Oh, look, yeah, see. Look at this. I'm gonna put copyright strikes in against you.
Oh, eat a dick. It's.
Which one should I get? Should I hit request removal, guys? Should I hit request removal? No, we'll just archive it. Oh God.
Ow, what the fuck, man?
I love that. I give credit, but I don't know his YouTube. All right, so let's go through this and just have some fun with like the last 15 minutes of tonight's stream. I'd give credit, but I don't know his YouTube. Hint, it's me.
Tis I, the guy's YouTube.
That you're using 100% of my video for. Oh wait, this guy actually ats me. I'll give him a like there. And the problem that comes up is like sometimes when it's buried inside of some other people's videos, like the way he did it, definitely would not trigger like the copyright because so much of his other shit is around my video. And I think, hey, what's up, Wolfman? I'm bringing an Igor covered in plastic hooks. We need gun runner. That's a great one. Let's see here. So I can go ahead and. Oh, look, more buck. Look at this buck guy just stealing my shit. All right. So yeah, there was that Airsoft Oasis guy that I had to take down. Wait, is he back up again? No, he's got no content. All right, cool. Just wanted to make sure. I don't like to get that way and pull some stuff down and go through, but if you don't give me proper credit for my videos, I sometimes have to go a little scorched earth with it.
Everything burns.
It's me, Mark. Come on, man. Sears. Mostly because I want to, when it comes down to it, it's like, fuck, I'm a lowly content creator. I would appreciate just some a nat tag or the recognition for the work I did. That's obviously giving you some joy because of the shit you're doing, right? So,
Please, sir, can I have some more?
Please, sir, can I have some more? So yeah. So with that being said, you guys have any what's the last minutes you guys want to 12 minutes you guys want to talk about? Oh, I can see that.
Don't all jump at once.
I'm talking about virtue in you, sir.
Yeah,
I was being facetious, but whatever.
Yeah, no, fuck.
Do we want to talk about the stuff mentioned in the AAR chat for the Discord or anything of that nature?
I could put the Discord and stuff inside there.
All right. I just had to drive to Dallas and back repeatedly to drop off stock, so my brain is fried.
Fair enough. I made a separate AAR chat because we still have yet to have that call or anything of that nature. So we'd started getting some of the thoughts put down on.
Yeah, I saw some of that, and
yeah,
I mean, not to to be a dick or anything else, but it's like I think we're beyond the point of having an AAR for the staff, because it's so far behind us now. I think we already know what needs to go through. Well,
that's the reason I made the chat. It's because it was like a week after. You've seen a little bit of it, but I don't think you went all the way through.
I like the fact that we have it because that allows me to actually see. I've been paying attention to it when I have time just to read some of the comments.
Yeah.
And a lot of it we actually already addressed, but for some reason got missed. And some of it's just unfeasible.
Well, like some people were talking about, why don't we have this? Why don't we have that? Like, why don't we have a video AR? Video safety brief, because I literally like looking at people to see who's actually paying attention or not, and to call out those. And because when it happens, I know you weren't paying attention to the safety brief. You were standing in that spot and you were looking down instead of paying attention. So I can call them out and have them pop their heads up and have discussions, because that's what is needed.
Fair.
Sometimes.
And here's the thing: most fields I know that do have a video safety brief are the ones that have the most drama, because nobody watches it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Also, that requires
don't-
just getting a TV that has power somehow. That's not eating the
That means
generator.
running another line for. Yeah, then we have to put the video together, go through the stuff, things that might be changing on the fly. Yeah, it's just better to have that. Now, it helps out because we know who's going to do the safety briefs for the future. Because I can go through the safety briefs pretty quick, covering all the stuff that's there, and make the content, the dry ass content, at least entertaining for people to pay attention to. Exactly. Let's see.
I mean, because everybody reads the player's packet, so it's just a refresher, right?
Should be.
Yeah, we have to have a. I need a. Lauren just sent me. Big House Milsom is at risk of being unpublished.
What?
Yeah, it's Facebook.
Oh, the Facebook warnings of.
Yeah, Wolfman, we already talked
Unbelievable.
about that. You're a bit late, Broham.
Yeah, so, Wolfman, go to the beginning of the stream after this and watch what Sal said about it. All right, so I solemnly swear to God, prisoners.
I jokingly might bring you like a portable whiteboard or something.
How many?
Now, if we'd have had all the admin there would have been somebody there to do it. It's just literally last minute. We had so many people not able to make it, and we didn't find out till after we started they weren't coming.
Yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed the con. All right.
There will be a chubby unicorn on it. Okay.
No, but I have an inflatable unicorn I'll bring.
All right. So, yes, we do need a.
What prisoners?
All right. Cool. All right. So we're close to the end of the night tonight, so let's go ahead and do our selfish plugs, and let's go through and just start wrapping up stuff and everything else. Lauren always seems to message me when I'm streaming because she sees it, and I guess she doesn't realize why that stuff was being triggered because I was streaming. All right, so shameless plugs times, guys. Obviously, if you're here for the first time, go ahead and smash that follow button, hit the notification bell, make sure you hit all notifications as we drop shorts every single day of the week. We do not drop montage videos usually on Monday or Tuesday. And we typically stream at least once a week on Tuesdays, but we will be picking up the Thursday streams after the holidays. The holidays have been really impacting our Thursday streams. Sorry, y'all. We talk about all things Airsoft and Airsoft-related stuff here. So feel free to jump in and come by. We always really like to interact with our fans. If you really want to support us, go ahead, hit that membership, select one of the options that helps us build the channel up, and go. As always, please like and share all the videos that you guys see to help us boost this up everywhere else. Our schedule for the end of the year or for the next 6 months is we'll be at Revelations 12, giving out some of my nice sweet meat. I'll be promoting a bunch of stuff for Big House Producers at Rev 12. That'll be my last event of this year. This weekend, I'm actually going up to SNS Airsoft on Saturday to play. After that, I'm pretty much I'm just gonna be playing after Rev. I'm just gonna be playing game days and stuff. After the first of the year, I'm gonna be going to Operation Thunderdome at the mall in South Carolina. I'll be going to evidently like 2 games in February now, possibly 3, but we have Papa's Clash of the Titans, and we also have Bone Crusher. And then May 24th, those tickets are going to probably drop this weekend. It's going to be Stonebreaker at GTI in Barnwell, South Carolina. I'll be running green for that event. Of course, we're going to have Syndicate 3 at the prison, so check out bhmilsom.com. Yes, guys, it's bhmilsom.com now. It takes you to obhmilsom.com, but yeah.
I hate you.
Yeah, I took out the O. Well, we talked about it. We were eliminating the O. There's no operation in any of the stuff that we say, but Big House Milsom. So that stuff's going to be migrated over and everything else. Eventually, when the current hosting plan disappears for Operation Big House Milsom, it's going to go to Big House Milsom or BH Milsom. Either way, but check out Syndicate 3. By the way, since we've got a few minutes, we've dropped the JTF missions tickets. Actually, if you're free on Thursday, Sin, I think we should stream for about an hour just talking about JTF.
I will be driving, but I will let my partner take over and do it remote.
Okay. Yeah, because I have some announcements about that. Like buildings people have never been in before.
Oh?
Mm-hmm. So the JTF missions are going to be specially based. These are the ones that are only... the JTF are the Joint Task Force missions that are an immense immersion when you guys play. If anybody's been on here that's already done a JTF mission can attest. They're loud, they're intense, and they're a hell of a lot of fun. Those tickets are also severely limited. We only have 38 tickets left. So there's only 40 for Friday night. 2 are already gone, and we suspect a hell of a lot more are going to disappear. So if you're interested in doing a really intense role play, there will be some role play inside of there. You have to capture people and everything else. You're going to be fighting against civilians. It doesn't matter which side you're on. This does not count for points. This is an extra event that's 40 minutes to an hour of intense gameplay.
Do you have PTSD? Have you ever wanted to have PTSD?
Guess what? You can get PTSD for just $65. It's a hell of a lot of fun. After that, we're going to have in June 2nd through the 4th is going to be Geigerlands 2 Electric Boogaloo. So get you guys tickets for that because nobody's gotten them yet, but that's fine. We're still far off. And
people are probably going to wait till after the holidays, Joker.
Oh, I don't doubt it. I don't
get Christmas stuff, man.
I won't doubt that. Hey, look, if you're trying to find that special something for the spouse that does airsoft, we got 2 events for you.
Love it.
So, guys, if you can follow us, everything else, that's what we're here for. We're here to entertain you guys and give us some good stuff. So if you see us at any events, come up, say hi, shake our hands. We like meeting our fans and our loyal viewers and everything else. So do you have anything else to share, Virtue?
No, man. Again, yeah. So show up to some events. I may be making it to Rev. We'll find out in the next 30 minutes. Since somebody got the ticket I was trying to get.
I had that ticket as of November 10th, a month ago.
Yeah. He just told me.
Oh.
Yeah.
If you guys do end up coming to find me at events, I am planning on making patches for loyal viewers.
So fans, friends, enemies, come say hi.
Yep. Buck, you got anything to say before we end this out?
No. Follow me on all my socials. That's my usual shtick.
Follow us everywhere at Players Wanted. So I'm Joker for Players Wanted. With me is the man with the mohawk, the king of the high kappas, Virtue from Sinister Customs. And that's Buck. Until next time, folks, may your BBs fly true and your opponents always call your hits.